Wilde in Green Bay. Jesse Nelson is in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studio. And sporting his Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin Big Bird hoodie, which I actually wore yesterday, and now it's in the wash. Otherwise, we would have matched.
Nice.
It is Big Bird. It is the Packers Hall of Famer. It is Mark Tausch. Tausch, good morning. How you doing, buddy?
I'm all right. Jesse, I feel like, listen, man, you are a montager.
Nice glasses.
Day early? 2 days early?
We debuted it yesterday, Tausch.
Yeah, you missed it.
It's draft week. Green Bay's hosting the NFL draft. There's never anything bigger than this.
Yeah, but I feel like we are a little preemptive here. But am I? Did it was received well? Was it received well?
It has been received well. Yeah.
Will this change, or is it going to be montage every day until Friday?
Oh, will you update it with the first-round pick for Friday's show, for example?
Avid fans of the show will know that on Friday we typically update the draft montage. We have it on Friday, but we adjust it based on what transpires on Thursday night. Yes. It's we're just playing it at the start of the show the first couple of days, and then we'll play it a little bit more as we get to draft day. Like, it'll amp up as the week goes on, just like our excitement and our coverage does. But it's a big week, Tausch. You know that.
It is. No, listen, man. I think the draft getting pushed to late April it's too long. Like, the draft season's too long. I've said that you're not letting guys get in earlier. I would like it to be early April, maybe mid-April. I don't want it on Easter, but I want it, maybe the week before, because then you get guys, they can get to their places, they can start learning the playbook. I get what the NFL's doing. They want to suck up the calendar. I get it. NBA playoffs starting, NHL playoffs starting, Major League Baseball's in swing. But this is a long time, and it is exciting because this will probably be the one and only time. I know the Packers had the draft. I think it was Cliff Crystal's article back in like 1906.
1940
outside
in
of that,
Milwaukee. Yes.
Okay. This will be the one and only time the Green Bay Packers have the draft. So it's a big blanket deal. Green Bay is going to show really well. I think we all feel pretty good about that now. And it is a big draft for Goody, as we heard Nordy say on your little montage. But we're still 2 days out. The excitement's building. You're starting to get fake news. You're starting to hear Ashton Genty going to Jacksonville. I'm hearing, I had somebody text me today, they think Brock Purdy's going to get traded for a haul of picks, and Aaron Rodgers is going to go out and sign with the San Francisco 49ers. I love that. I think that'd be fantastic. So there's all kinds of malfeasance and smoke screens and subterfuge and everything you could shake a stick at. And that's the fun part of this as things continue to roll on till Thursday night up in Green Bay.
Wait,
great opening monologue deserving a sip of your quick trip coffee.
It just sort of ended with a sip of your coffee. Like, were you going anywhere with that? Hey, here's to you. Good one.
Well, because Jesse said it's the big blanket deal, and I agree. It is a big blanket deal.
Here's an idea.
I think
have a point. It makes it so much more interesting for the listener.
Yeah. Hey, Jason, my point was it is a big blanket deal, and I agree with the montage. That was my point.
The montage didn't have a point.
What did the montage?
Plus, it started. The soliloquy started with it was premature,
it's too early,
and he ended in a place where he said it's a good idea because it's a big blanket deal.
I agree with the montage.
What? You want me to crap on like Shaq filled his pants last night on air? You want me to fill my pants about your montage? I thought it was good.
There's like 50 points in the montage. There's not one to agree with other than are you excited? Like, yeah, sure.
The idea, Jesse, the idea of you having the montage, I've come around. It is, I think I've probably
in the last 3 minutes.
Yeah. No, I'm not some stubborn old rigid fool. Like, I can get excited, too. I can get fired up, and here we go.
It is exciting. I don't think here in Green Bay, while We're talking about it a lot. It is a big deal. I don't think there are some like prominent media folks that are arriving in town now and are doing their shows, etc. But I think from a overarching perspective, like, I don't think there's a lot of like fans who have gotten to town already. Being over at Lambeau yesterday and having to walk uphill both ways for miles trying to get in and out of the building because everything is fenced off. So you would like inside the fence, walk a long distance to get to the one exit and then walk all the way back, traversing all the space you'd already walked one direction to go back the other direction. I saw a lot of people, but they were all like working. They were all, last minute construction or moving things around. I didn't see a lot of fans yesterday. Yesterday was Monday. I'm going to head back over there today. We'll see if there's more buzz and activity, but I'm guessing people are getting into town Wednesday, or if they're driving for the draft, probably Thursday morning during the day for the draft to start at 7 p.m. Thursday night. Obviously, then the draft goes Friday, Saturday, but I don't get the sense here in Green Bay that we've ratcheted up the draft is here excitement. I think it's mostly people going about their Tuesdays, and then this is going to kind of come to a head starting Wednesday, Thursday. So that's the vibe I get in town. But it is a big blanket deal, worthy of a montage, worthy of our excitement. Also a big deal. A lot of the things Goody said yesterday, we had him for 31 minutes. I think I asked maybe 5 or 6 of the roughly 30-plus questions, which is, I think, an okay percentage. I am fascinated by one thing in particular that he said, but I'm going to tease that for later in the program because the big teaser wants me to do that. Yeah. Because I'm getting old.
What did we say you needed to ask Goody on Friday?
I don't remember, but I don't think I asked it.
Jesse, do you remember?
Nope.
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right.
Well, I thought there was a lot of good stuff that may or may not have been asked.
In fairness to us, we did spend the whole show yesterday asking fans, what do you want to hear from Goody? Gabe was offering what he wanted to hear from Goody. So we talked a lot about what we want to hear from Goody. I'm sorry I don't remember what you said on Friday.
It was really
Goody.
Profound. I thought you thought it was really interesting, and I'm guessing you wrote it down, but that's okay. So what did you ask him?
Well, we'll get into that a little bit later because what I want to get into first is what people are reacting to that he said, which caught me a little bit by surprise. He was asked if he feels like his first-round pick needs to contribute right away as a rookie. Here is how Goody responded.
No, I think you'd love to, but I think a lot of you guys have been around here. It's great when they do, but that's not always the case. This is the transition to the National Football League is tough. It's not always easy. A lot of times it's really determined by opportunity. If you take a guy in a particular area, that he's just going to have a lot more opportunity than somebody else, and we try to stay away from that drafting for need. We try to just, take the best player available if that's possible. But most of the time, a guy's impact in his rookie year comes down to the opportunities that he had more than anything.
So I was sitting there in the auditorium, which has not been destroyed yet. Apparently they're going to do that next year. So for now, we're in the same media auditorium. And I thought it was a very good answer and a very honest answer and the reality of the NFL. They made the playoffs last year. Jordan Morgan barely did anything. Now, you could argue that they sure as heck could have used him in that playoff game when everything went to hell after Elton Jenkins suffered a stinger. 2 years ago, they got next to nothing out of Lucas Van Ness as a rookie, who they drafted at age 20, knowing that he was a bit of a project. 2022, Quay Walker started right away. Devontae Wyatt kind of rotated in on the defensive line, but he got off to a very slow start to his NFL career. Kenny Clark, back in 2016, was a non-factor as a rookie, turned into a 3-time Pro Bowler. So I don't think the Packers have a history of saying, okay, we drafted this guy, he's got to play right away. Darnell Savage did. Rashawn Gary did not in 2019. So I did not find this answer to be off-putting or concerning. And then I went on KBN across ESPN Wisconsin with Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. And Kyle was apoplectic. I mean, he was really mad at Goody. Well, what do you mean? Now, this dovetails into something else that
what
Goody
did the rest
said.
of the group think, boys? Did they agree with Kyle, or were they a little more measured?
I don't know. I did most of the talking because I was trying to talk folks off the ledge during my appearance. But look, the bottom line is this is not – there is going to be a rookie or two, just like they were last year. It turned out to be Edgerrin Cooper and Javon Bullard and Evan Williams. But there's going to be a rookie or two that have to compete and contribute right away. We don't know who that'll be. Maybe it will be the first-round pick. But the fact of the matter is that the Packers are not reliant on that. And Goody believes, and we'll get into this a little bit later, which was the most interesting thing, that if they had to play a game right now, he's got a pretty damn good football team. So I want to talk about that. But, Tausch, you played as a rookie. It wasn't the plan when they drafted you on draft day for you to be the starting right tackle. You turned out to be exactly that. So when you hear Goody's response, what does that evoke from you? Because I was taken by surprise, both by social media and by KBN, that they were really irritated with this answer.
If you're expecting your rookies to lead your team to a championship, you're going to be sorely disappointed. If you're expecting so when I heard this, first thing I thought was he's playing games, he's drafting a wideout, and that wideout is going to be one of your players. Mm-hmm. That's what I thought.
Thought that
he's
too.
He's going to subterfuge it a little bit, get everybody's dauber down a little bit, and so I look at how teams did. Would the Philadelphia Eagles have won a championship if Cooper DeJean and Quinton Williams, their other corner?
Quinyon Mitchell. Yep.
Mitchell. If those two hadn't elevated their game, no. You need to win a championship, you need to have things fall your way. No team wants their first-round pick to be – you would love for them to come out and be a starter, but if they're one of your main cogs, that means the rest of your roster isn't good enough. Mm-hmm. But in some cases, you're looking for guys to – if you can fill a need and they develop into the player, because Cooper DeJean didn't play right away.
Correct.
He was out. He was injured, and he got a slow start. You want to see these guys develop and then become impact players. James Starks, Brian Bulaga. Mm-hmm. You get these guys when you win a championship, you kind of get lucky, but you're prepared. And you have the right guys that can go out and execute. You need guys to play. But from day one, no. And I think for Packer fans, you're listening to this, and if they draft an offensive lineman in the first round, I don't want him playing. That means something's gone haywire. If you draft a wideout, I don't want him playing right away. I'd like for him to kind of go on that path where by October, November, you start getting some work. You feel better about what you're doing, and then you emerge as that guy. Anyone that is sitting here saying, draft April 27th or whatever day it's going to be, and then whatever that home game or that first game on the schedule is going to be, if that player is being counted on to start and play a major role today, mm-hmm. that means your roster's not good enough. Eventually you get there, great. That means you hit a home run because you're not playing rookies unless they're ready to play. You had to play rookies 2 years ago because that was the route you went when you went all in.
Right.
That team, they elevated.
Rebuilding.
Now we haven't. So I'm looking, if you draft a wideout with the first pick, which I don't think they will, I hope they do, that player needs to emerge and become one of the main cogs in that receiving core. Outside of that, Where's this guy going to start? Maybe a corner? So if you're really dead set on that, I think you're going to be disappointed. I think that's where Goody's head's at.
Yeah, I agree with you. I look at their roster and say there are no really obvious places where they need a rookie to come in and start right away. Not even corner, right? Because they've got Hobbs, they've got
Jair.
Nixon. They don't. Well, we'll talk about Jair a little bit later. And they've got Carrington Valentine, who they really like. I don't know if Packer fans like him or not, but I know the coaching staff thinks that he's a really good football player. So I don't necessarily see them as going, okay, we got to have a corner who starts right away. Now, on the defensive line, maybe. Linebacker, no. Safety, definitely not. Running back, no. Quarterback, no. Tight end, no. Offensive line, no. Maybe wide receiver. But again, go through their roster. So I was surprised by that. There were a few other things that Goody said that really piqued my interest. We'll get into those coming up, along with getting into a conversation with Evan Cohen and our Bucks buddy Justin Garcia. They are both scheduled to appear today, but not until we've talked about Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and all the people that have seen the commercial. It's incredible, the reach of this television.
A lot of commercials. A lot of commercials. A lot of buzz. Jason's starting to see it. The buzz about the draft up in Green Bay. People coming in. A lot of buzz. But you're not going to find any drafts seeping through Pella's windows and doors. In fact, you should make Pella your number one pick and play it right away. Throw those windows in there. Get them installed. You got the great team going to install them up beautifully. You take advantage of that no-interest financing. You're on a rookie deal. Financing options, or you can get those free glass upgrades. Their talented designers and installers will match your home's unique decor with seamless customization. Certain restrictions do apply. This offer ends April 30th, so place your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
We'll get ready for Evan Cohen. I do want to get into what Goody said about this roster, because that, to me, was extremely interesting, and it caused me to pivot a little bit in my thought process about some of the other things he said this offseason when I was thinking, well, of course he's got to say that. What else is he going to say? Mm-hmm. I think I've maybe come around a little bit to the idea that he's a true believer, that he really does believe what he said about his roster. We'll talk about that and more as we roll on. It's Wilde and Tausch across ESPN Wisconsin and on the all-new, all-free, all-awesome ESPN Wisconsin app.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio. The 2015 Wisconsin men's hoops team gave us all a march to remember.
There will be no undefeated champion on Wisconsin with an unbelievable stretch drive to the championship game.
On June 26th, enjoy an intimate celebration with the stars of the run with Made 'em Believe. Presented by M3 Insurance. World-class expertise and individual attention. Tickets are on sale now at uwhoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
Mark Tauscher here, and these days I am sleeping better than ever. I am so thankful I met with the great team at Advent to help solve my sleeping problems. The Advent team is so great to work with, and their consultations are very informative. The Advent team listened to my struggles, and rather than forcing a surgery, they helped me find the best solution for a better night's sleep. My family and I are so thankful the solutions from Advent worked. To see how they can help you with snoring, sleep apnea, and nasal breathing problems, go to adventknows.com, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
The I-94 rivalry is more than just bragging rights. Get to the ballpark for Brewers-Cubs action May 2nd through the 4th and spend Friday and Saturday night under the lights and help the Crew defend American Family Field and the National League Central Crown.
That's your ball game!
Then pack the park for Sunday matinee baseball at the May 4th series finale and take advantage of the Sunday Fun Day bundle. Get your tickets now at Brewers.com.
Are you ready to win some real cash during the basketball playoffs? It's time for you to check out Pick 6 from DraftKings. Hey, it's Alex Rowe. When it comes to basketball payouts, DraftKings Pick 6 posterizes the competition, including all other daily fantasy options. It's easy. Download the Pick 6 app in your app store and make at least 2 selections by clicking more or less on player projections. Hit all your picks and score higher minimum payouts on Pick 6, plus even more cash if you outscore the competition. Pick 6 is available in most states, including right here in Wisconsin, California, Texas, Georgia, and more. And you can pick on anything: basketball, baseball, golf, and more. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now and use code WKTI. That's code WKTI. For new customers to play $5, get $50 in Pick 6 credits. Better payouts, bigger wins, only with Pick 6 from DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 18 plus. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Void where prohibited. 1 per new customer. Bonus awarded is non-withdrawable Pick 6 credits that expire in 14 days. Limited time offer. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
Bev Anderson has a big idea she wants to share.
Bev has been here for 24 years.
Hi, Bev. We're anxious to hear your idea.
Kesler's is 45 years old this year. Monica, remember when your dad used to say in every radio ad, "I'm Richard Kesler, and I want to be your jeweler"?
I never got to hear that.
Yeah, and then Rick would say,
Kesler's Diamonds, inconveniently located on Appleton Avenue, Menominee Falls.
Inconveniently?
Richard said it was inconvenient for people to have to drive all the way to Menominee Falls, so he might as well admit it.
Bev, tell us your idea.
Richard said something else in almost every ad, and I think we should start saying it again because it's really important.
Tell us.
We do diamonds better because diamonds are what we do.
I love that.
Fantastic idea, Bev.
Kesler's Diamonds.
We do diamonds better because diamonds are what we do.
For the location nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Turn up the volume and turn up the flavor with Tequila Mi Campo. Tequila made for those who choose to live louder. Just like a draft day pick in Green Bay, Mi Campo is the bold choice that brings excitement and anticipation to every moment. Mi Campo is crafted for utterly in-your-face flavor, made with 100% Blue Weber agave, aged in wine barrels for incredibly smooth taste. Ready for however you like to turn it up. Mi Campo. Live louder. Please enjoy responsibly. 2025, imported by Mi Campo Spirits, Canandaigua, New York. Tequila, 40% alcohol by volume.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
We'll get back to the Packers. We'll get ready to talk to Evan Cohen here in a second, but I have a confession to make. And I was almost late for the segment. So because of the draft, the city of Green Bay has adjusted its trash pickup schedule. And so we're usually today, but they're doing the side of town closest to Lambeau now before it gets congested, right? Well, then I hear the dogs barking upstairs, and there's a garbage truck in front of our house. And the things I panic about, I admit that they're stupid. It happens a lot. I need to just take a beat, have a meal with Lois, and calm down. But I go running out there. Are you picking up garbage? No, they're trimming trees. So they're still coming on Friday for us. But the amount of angst that I was feeling about not getting my garbage out is very unhealthy. And I needed to share that with you guys.
You got life too easy. Like, that's what that tells me.
No, I worry about lots of other things, as you well know.
No, but I mean, if that is where your head's at, you got things are too good. I mean, that's serious.
You couldn't tell they were the tree trimmers and not the garbage picker-uppers?
They have a garbage truck, like a legit garbage truck.
Yeah,
not a wood chipper.
Yeah. These are some...
they're not champagne problems. And I would think someone who knows
you
me as well
don't think that's a champagne problem?
No, it's not at the top of the things I worry about lists, but in that moment it was... But I worry. I worry to an unhealthy degree. So this is just one example of many other things that I worry about.
What's at the top of your list? What's the top of your? Do you do a to-do list and like things I need to worry about and like write it down on your little boogie board?
Well, no, because I sometimes bump the button and it
pickup
disappears.
Impacted by the draft.
Number 3 in Wilde's worrying power rankings.
I don't want to drag down the show. There have been things in my life that have occurred that make me worry about a lot of things, and
okay, that's fair.
We're not going to go there.
That's fair. Is it? Let me ask you something, because when Evan joins us, I have an Easter egg hunt. Now, obviously, religion and Christianity, it's a interesting topic.
Yeah.
Right? But this is more of a life thing. So I'm going to bring this up.
To Evan.
Even though, you too. I wanted to hold this until Evan because I think the human psyche is one of the things he likes the most. That's why we get along, because I think we're both fascinated by the psychology of human beings.
Yeah, you guys definitely get along, even if it doesn't seem like that sometimes when you guys are on the show together. You should tell us, because I tried to tell people about it yesterday, but it's just not the same.
It just means more.
It just means more when you tell us about the incredible contest we're running to redo your shower with the great team, Doug and everyone else over at Kohler Services.
Indeed. And you know what? Very rarely are things free in life. And if you think that your shower sucks, you think it's ugly, and one of the ugliest in Wisconsin, it is simple. Upload a photo to goodkarmabrands.com/Wisconsin contest. Matter of fact, I had a golf outing on Friday. I showed it's so easy now with this ESPN Wisconsin app. You click on the app, said scroll down to contest, and bam, it's right there. You can go click on it. You can put it in. One lucky fan is going to get a free shower remodel from Kohler Services, luxurious Kohler Services, including a design consultation, demolition and removal of your stinky existing shower or bath, and installation of that brand new Kohler Lugstone shower. Upload your photo by April 30th to goodkarmabrands.com/Wisconsin contest for your chance to win that free brand new Kohler Lugstone shower door. You have 8 days left to get it in, and click on the app. Go to goodkarmabrands.com/Wisconsin contest. Whatever route you want to get to, put it in and give yourself a chance to get a free Lugstone shower.
Evan Cohen of Unsportsmanlike joins us next. By the way, I love your wife. I appreciate your support, Sarah. You're the best. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Home practice is about to begin. Your daughter's new tap shoes? Loud. Your son's new tuba? Louder. But you got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with $50 overdraft Greystone. So if you lose track of expenses buying some noise-canceling and sanity-saving headphones, we've got your back. You got this with $50 overdraft Greystone from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Drum roll, please.
Carbliss is here with refreshing new flavors. Introducing their Tropical Bliss Variety Pack. Let the summertime flavors of blood orange, watermelon, raspberry, and grapefruit whisk you away from the winter blues. New flavors, same great Carbliss perks. Every handcrafted cocktail still has 0 sugar, 0 carbs, and just 100 calories. Find the Tropical Bliss Variety Pack in store wherever Carbliss is sold and enjoy your winter passport to paradise. Grab a pack today and discover why Bliss is more with Carbliss.
Awarded Best of Weddings 2023 by The Knot, The Bog is much more than world-class golf. Our clubhouse ballroom offers floor-to-ceiling windows and a breathtaking full-wall fireplace. Our barn venue was inspired by the on-site barn at Hole 6, built in the 1800s. 2 outdoor ceremony sites and a variety of personalized options. Our venues are perfect for family get-togethers, weddings, showers, graduation parties, or any event you are hosting. Call The Bog at 262-292-0740 or visit thebarnatthebog.com.
His Expo is May 13th at Brookfield Conference Center. Spend the day at the kickoff keynote event on resilient leadership thriving and enduring in challenging times, and make connections with customers and other business leaders. Learn from the experts at the strategy seminars on topics focused on technology and innovation, business growth, leadership, and manufacturing solutions. BizExpo is Tuesday, May 13th. Register now to attend. BizExpo is May 13th. Go to biztimes.com/BizExpo.
Great impressions will exceed your expectations. Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
At Great Impressions Graphics and Printing, they've been proudly serving the community for over 26 years. From their location at the corner of 54th and Burleigh in Milwaukee, their dedication to quality and customer satisfaction has made them a trusted name in printing and design. Great Impressions offer a wide range of services, including banners, posters, yard signs, business cards, programs, and postcards. Plus, they specialize in custom apparel printing, perfect for family reunions, sports outings, business promotions, and more. For your next project, visit greatimpress.com. That's greatimpress.com. Great Impressions. They're here when you need them.
Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
Picks are made every year with the NFL Draft as each team dreams fearlessly. Let's rewind for an American Family Insurance Green Bay Dream Pick.
An annual storyline with the green and gold is whether or not a new wide receiver will be drafted in the first round. It's something that hasn't happened since 2002.
Green Bay Packers exercised the 20th pick in this draft to select Javon Walker, wide receiver from Florida State.
Javon Walker, the big athletic wideout from Florida State, was taken 20th overall by Green Bay. After promising rookie and sophomore seasons, Walker spent his third season in 2004 breaking out and earning a Pro Bowl nod.
Favre throws, passes, caught for a touchdown, Walker. And the Green Bay Packers are out in
This
front.
Green Bay Dream Pick is presented by American Family Insurance. American Family Insurance is always a great pick because their agents are there to protect your dreams. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com. This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Soon, he'll be right here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. For now, he joins us on Wilde and Tausch. The star, okay, maybe that's strong, of Unsportsmanlike on ESPN Radio and across ESPN Wisconsin. It is Evan Cohen on Wilde and Tausch. Evco, good morning. How are you?
Morning, guys. How are you doing? I have two questions right off the bat for you both, if I may.
All right, well, I have one before. Well, why don't you hit your two, and then I'll come at you. Go ahead.
Okay. My two questions. One, I thought this morning I had this revelation, which is not really a revelation. I don't know why I didn't think about it earlier. But Thursday and Friday on set from the Tundra Trio this week, I was thinking of only rocking Badger gear. Do we think that's the right move?
One day. I think Friday you should. Thursday's more about the draft, I think. And your great partnerships with Wisconsin, I think you should probably be repping the Badger stuff on Friday and maybe some other, like just showcasing all of Wisconsin maybe on Thursday.
I think in honor of the draft, I think you should wear your jersey. Take it out of the frame and take it with you to.
Oh God! No, definitely not doing that. Do you know, by the way, speaking of my jersey, do you know because I love Dion, I wore Dion used to wear at Florida State 2 in practice and 21 in the games. I wore 21 in practice and 2 in the games. That's not a joke. I really did that. Anyway, okay, so Friday, Badger gear, Thursday. How do I wear State of Wisconsin gear Thursday? How do I even do that, Chad?
Supper club. Dress like you're going to a supper club. Highlight the great things that you, as an ambassador for the state of Wisconsin, love. That's what you should do.
Okay, all right, I can do that. So I'll just look more quote-unquote professional and then go Badger gear on Friday. All right.
Yeah, on
Second
Friday.
thing.
Yeah.
Do you have
That's what I think
supper
you should-
club attire, Tausch? Do you have? Oh, that's my supper club fit.
Tausch has got an extra Pella Windows and Doors of
We just
Wisconsin
had,
hoodie if you
there
want
was
it.
just an event that we did that Charlie Barons was the dude at, and it was a supper club theme. So yeah, it was fantastic. You flannel, you can go. There's all kind. Everybody. The beautiful part about going to a supper club, you can get dressed up if you want. You don't have to if you don't want to. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah, I have been to a supper club with Tausch, and right.
Yeah, I just went. Oh, Evan, just went Friday night, late night, 9:15. Res didn't call you. Went there. It was fantastic. Crab legs, and it was beautiful. I thought about you when I was there.
I will say, I had never ordered the crab legs, and a few times ago, Tausch all of a sudden turns to the waiter or waitress and says, "I love the crab legs." I said, "What? I didn't even know they had them here." They came to the table. It was like the greatest thing I've ever eaten in my life. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, they're good.
But Tausch is, because he's so big time, I've been to fancy restaurants with Tausch where he wears shorts and a hat. And you're like, I don't understand. How do you? And I'm like, I have to dress up, but because he's Tausch, he walks
It's
right in.
supper club
Second
attire.
question.
It's a supper club.
Second question.
I thought there were two questions there. Okay, what's your next one?
Yeah, I'm going to get to the second question. You went to your thing. Okay, the second question is
Kinda
this.
asked.
How
Kinda
should-
asked two of
How
them,
should, excuse me.
Okay.
How should I feel about an innocent question that I texted both of you that neither of you responded, that I still don't know the answer to, which is after watching your former quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, on Pat McAfee, I was unaware that he had a sister. I don't know that that is actually his sister or someone he calls his sister, and I don't know who this person, Mia, is. And I've listened to Rodgers with you guys and with Jason forever, and there's a new person that is in his life that I'm unaware of that is his go-to person, and I simply texted for informational purposes, who is this person, and neither of you responded.
Because
I
I'm
don't
looking,
know.
I'm looking at
I don't
that.
know who it is.
Yeah, I'm looking at that text. I thought you just sent. I thought it was like, it made no sense because here's what you actually wrote.
Oh, I like this. Get after him, Jason.
I assume it's Jesse under an alias, and he is giving Rodgers all the info, crying, laughing emoji. I don't have anything from you about Rodgers having a sister, not having a sister. So I don't know who you sent that to, but I didn't respond because I didn't get it.
Okay, so this is interesting. I am driving. I'm in traffic, so I'm very lucky
be careful.
that I can pull this up here.
Yeah,
No,
don't
I'm
be
in
careful.
traffic. I'm in
Okay.
traffic.
Okay.
I said the first text. Okay, you obviously didn't get this one. Who is Mia? Question mark. Rodgers keeps referencing her.
Yeah, I
You
don't
didn't see
have that.
And then I wrote, I assume it's Jesse. Okay, well then that's why the disconnect is there. So who is
disconnect.
this person, Mia?
Yeah, Jason, who is Mia?
I don't know. He is not his actual. He does not have a sister.
That's what I thought.
And I actually corresponded with him after he got off the air and went back and forth with him for a while because I was curious about what he said about some folks in his life and his inner circle going through things. And so he and I corresponded for a while. But, yeah, I didn't ask who Mia is. I did get pictures of the dog. The girls were very excited to see Apollo. He is very cute. But beyond that, I did not get into
Rodgers
who Mia
or the
is.
dog?
Rodgers,
Oh, good one.
dog.
It's a good one.
Apollo.
Rodgers' dog.
Yeah.
Hey, Evco, if you're
And by the way,
since you're
I have laid off.
Tausch is done
go
with
ahead,
this,
go
by
ahead.
the way, just to let you know.
No, I
He's
mean, you love Aaron Rodgers, and I keep hearing from people, stop talking about him. Jason gets itchy, but I do have one. If you're
Wait, Evan loves
San
Aaron
Francisco,
Rodgers?
He loves talking about him. He loves talking.
Oh,
I do love talking about him.
Well, do you watch
love
Unsportsmanlike? There's not a show goes by that Aaron Rodgers isn't part of it.
He does not love Aaron Rodgers. He loves him as
the
a
topic
topic.
of Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I
all I
agree.
was clarifying.
That's what I just
All
said.
right, good. I'm glad
That's
we're
what
all
I
on the same
just
page.
said.
That's not what you said.
No, it is. Check the tape. Evan, if you're San Fran, trade Brock Purdy, get 2 firsts, bring Rodgers in on a 2-year 20. He said he'd play for 10 mil. 2 years, 20 mil. Who says no?
Right, so I've said this is now month 3. I have said if you're not willing to pay Brock Purdy, if I'm Pittsburgh, I'm offering an arm and a leg to get him. I would give up 2 to 3 firsts. I'd pay him whatever he wants. And if I'm San Francisco, I would then take 11 and 21, and I would guarantee myself that I would draft Shador, and I would sign Aaron Rodgers. That's what I said for 3 months.
Yeah. What about the Giants?
So,
Would the Giants give up number?
Who
What do they got?
No.
2?
No.
3?
Now, Tausch, this is something that's very interesting. My viewpoint of Brock Purdy is very high. I think he's excellent at what he does. The whole, well, what if these guys weren't there? Well, like, that's any team anywhere. If they weren't there, how would they operate?
Well, not Josh Allen, not Joe Burrow, not Pat Mahomes.
Right. They've graduated to that. Well, no, whoa. Don't put Joe Burrow in there. Joe Burrow in college
putting Joe Burrow
at Ohio State. Ohio State he didn't play. At LSU he had Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase, and he has Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. He needs wide receivers.
Yep.
The Cincinnati Bengals have made dumb move after dumb move because you have an elite quarterback, or so we thought, and have not removed the position that you don't need elite players at with an elite quarterback. Buffalo is different, right?
Okay.
And so New England was different with Tom Brady. Kansas City is different with Patrick Mahomes. Cincinnati is not. Point that I'm making here. Pittsburgh should buy themselves out of a problem. And the problem is not no quarterback. The problem is looking for a quarterback every year. Because they have enough at that position every year to make it to the playoffs. What they don't have enough of is winning enough to get to a Super Bowl, because every offseason they have to look for a quarterback. So I am in full agreement, and I think if we're going to bring it back to Rodgers a little bit, if he wants to play, and whatever is going on in his real life is way more important. So if he says, this is my life, there's stuff going on, I can't think about football until this stuff is complete, no issue whatsoever. That's real life stuff. If he's ready to think about football, what it feels like, I was not texting with he or his dog on Friday. What it feels like is that he's waiting for a situation like the one you suggested, to open up that is not there right now.
Okay. Jason, do you agree?
So
is that what it feels like?
As someone who has had people in his inner circle go through some very difficult things, namely Paula facing breast cancer, I don't know about anybody else, but you also still have to do your daily life. I didn't take a sabbatical from the radio show. I kept doing the radio show, and quite frankly, covering the team and doing the radio show for 3 hours a day it allowed me to stop worrying. I was talking about worrying earlier in the program. I worry a lot. It's a bad quality I have. It was like almost a respite from worrying, because I focused on the nonsense that we were doing and the Packers conversation we were doing on the show. To be an NFL quarterback, I'm sure requires a much greater commitment than it requires to be an NFL reporter and a radio host. I'm not sure I understand, though, that one automatically excludes the other. And so for him to say
but
that...
You could speak on that. We can't. We didn't. I mean, I don't want to speak for Tausch. Obviously, we haven't communicated with him.
Right. I understand. And so, again, I am not here to say, well, come on. I understand you care about these folks that are dealing with this, but I don't necessarily believe that you can't also make up your mind about your status as a quarterback. I think two things can be true at once. I think he cares about these people in his life, that he wants to be there for them. I also think that if there was a situation that he was absolutely excited about, and this is a really good fit, and this is what I want to do, I think he would have made his decision.
Yeah.
Right? And so...
Did you see what Devontae said?
I did not.
What did Devontae say?
So we're probably going to dive into this more tomorrow. A little teaser. ESPN Wisconsin on Sportsmanlike.
Nice.
Love that.
Yeah.
Jason doesn't like teasing, so don't tease that.
No, he doesn't like being teased. Devontae,
that's fair.
Adam, Mike Silver of The Athletic said that Mike Silver said on The Athletics podcast with Diana Rossini, the Scoop City one, that Devontae told him that Aaron Rodgers wants Pittsburgh and other teams to roll out the red carpet for him. Now, that is like eighth-hand information, but it was said by Mike Silver who has the Cal connection, obviously, to Rodgers. If that is the case, I don't believe that is going to happen from any team, for that matter. At this
What if it's
point
yellow
in his
carpet?
Career.
Wouldn't they bring out yellow?
Oh, like the blue carpet at the Wisconsin Sports Awards back in the day.
Yeah, way back in the day. Yellow carpet.
Yeah, where Rodgers attended many times.
Indeed.
So I don't think any team is going to roll out the red carpet. I think that the core of the Tausch question that I have brought up for months is, why does this smart team in San Francisco not think they have their franchise guy, or, which I think they do, or why are they not on the same page price-wise with that franchise guy, which I think is more the case, very much so, and I'm saying that with knowledge, that I think that opens up conversations that are not yet there, but could be expedited by the fact that the draft is 2 days away. I'm not suggesting, and I don't think you are either, Tausch, that Purdy's going to get traded. I am suggesting the conversation
should
have based on the fact that they're QB-needy teams, and based on maybe the price that Purdy wants is not one that San Francisco would go to, but I do believe Pittsburgh should go to that price if offered.
Yeah, and maybe Shanahan got an ego. Maybe he thinks, I can do that with Brock Purdy. I can do that with a lot of different players. Maybe, if he's going to start asking for...
Except he couldn't with the third pick in the draft.
Right.
In Trey Lance.
And don't
That
forget.
is a great point.
And don't forget, before he used the third pick in the draft on a player, he was meddling with Aaron Rodgers, and some might say
he was.
Breaking the rules. So maybe he thinks...
No, he didn't break the rules. There was no fines.
Jason,
there was no...
Jason, let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you a question, Jason. As we sit here today, if I said to you, you had to guess, is Aaron Rodgers more like... There's three options.
Okay.
Option A, Steelers/Vikings. Option B, retirement. Option C, wild card team. If you had to guess, Jason Wilde, what option Rodgers would be utilizing come week 1 of the NFL season, which option would it be?
Making it very clear that this is a guess.
That's why I said it the way I said it.
Yes, I know you did. I just want to extra emphasize that, because when you mentioned that you corresponded with him earlier, like I did, I don't want people thinking I have inside information.
You ready, man?
I don't. None. Zero.
Whenever he says Tausch, we're going to replay all day, everywhere. Whenever
Oh, yeah. Maddie is on alert.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Pablo, be ready. Get your fingers ready.
I believe, my guess, I would love to put this off right into a break, but I'm not going to. I think he's waiting for J.J. McCarthy to fall flat on his face. That's what I think.
Option A.
So option A in your options you gave me. I don't personally believe that he loves the Steelers idea, but again, that is nothing I have gleaned from him. And I don't lie on this show. I try not to lie at all.
You don't always tell the truth.
You misremember.
You like Tausch.
You do. You don't.
Yeah. Lies of omission on occasion. But I wouldn't say flat out that this is not something we talked about if we actually did talk about it, because that would be dishonest. So I swear to you, we did not talk about, is he waiting for J.J. McCarthy to stink or anything like that. We didn't. But my own gut feeling is he did talk while he was on with McAfee about his relationship with Kevin O'Connell and how they've been friends for a long time. They used to work out together in San Diego when he was still playing. I think that in his heart of hearts, the place where he'd like to go is Minnesota, which has a bunch of talent around him, and he could play against the Packers twice a year, and he thinks that's a team that can win a Super Bowl. I think he views, and again, I don't know this, I think he views the Steelers the way Tausch does. Mike Tomlin, great coach. What exactly have they done lately? A lot of middling, make the playoffs and lose, not great seasons, just good. So that's my own opinion, and that's all it is.
Okay, so based on what I'm getting, Jason Wilde, ESPN Wisconsin, Wilde and Tausch, is reporting that Aaron Rodgers believes J.J. McCarthy sucks. That's what I heard.
Yes, exactly.
He's an instigator, folks.
That's the problem.
He is an instigator. All right, Efko, I got 2 questions for you before we go. I saw Big Cat's point of view on Oklahoma City beat whoever by 51 points. He said if you get beat by 50,
Memphis.
Series is over. I'm on board. I think if you can't keep it within 50, the series should be over. You need to, yes, if you can't cut the game to 49 points, it's over. Tell me why that's a crazy idea, outside of the obvious financial commitment.
I hope Matt LePay is listening right now, because there is nobody who loves the Tausch ridiculous rules more than LePay. So I just want to make sure.
This is Big Cats.
Yeah,
co-opted
but
by
right
you.
now, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I co-opted Big Cat. I think it's a great idea.
So let me ask you this. Let's do it this way. What needs to happen from Memphis to prove you wrong? Right? They don't need to win the series. But, like, if Memphis wins 2 games in the series, will you retract the 50-point rule?
Great question.
No, because you quit.
Thank you, Jim.
Sports is about lessons. Don't quit. Memphis quit. They ain't 50 points worse than Oklahoma City. Get it down to 48 points and call it a day. Like, nobody wants to watch that.
So 48 points is such a difference. You know, they did the most brilliant bit, Big Cat and PFT, on Pardon My Take, that I was so upset that I've never done. So the Heat were up 71-47 over the Hawks, or over the Bulls, I think, at halftime of the first playing game. And they did a whole bit as to what's the biggest 24-point lead, which I think is so dumb and so brilliant simultaneously, because, like, what they're saying is if you're up 36-12, that's not as big as 71-47, right? So then I started thinking about, like, what's the biggest 21-point lead in the NFL? Like, if you're up 31-10, is that bigger than 21-0 or 24-3?
That's a good
You know what
question.
I'm saying with it?
Yeah, I do.
I do.
And I love it, too.
Number. It's the same number, but it's
42-21.
brilliant.
In football,
Means you're giving up a lot of
42-21
points.
doesn't feel as big as 31-10, even though it's the same amount.
100%.
Yeah.
Because in your mind, Jason, when you're playing that out, you're like, well, we've scored 3 times. Like, we can do that here. Like, we can figure this out. 31-10 is we had an early touchdown. We've stalled on 4 drives. We kicked the field goal, and they're scoring every time out.
Yeah, you're right. Tausch has an Easter egg hunt question that he does not want to forget.
Yeah, so Evco, we had our Easter egg hunt. We had to go to a park this year, and it's a public park. The question is, when you're putting eggs out, my brother puts eggs out, and he's done a great job. It's been at his house. It's been at our house. We've moved it around. When you put them in a public spot, and then we all, because it was raining, we all came, there was a random, I would think he was in his lower 40s, who started scavenging the eggs. And Craig puts cash in it. He puts little numbers in it to get gifts. And we have, you know, my cousins. So there's a bunch of kids. There's cousins, nephews, all the whole deal. Is it IPT or appropriate? Do we scold this guy, or is it's a park, it's a public place? Go at it. How would you have broached that had you been in that situation?
Tausch, when you guys hide the afikomen for Passover, is it the mother or father? You're asking. I'm Jewish, Tausch. I don't know the rules.
I understand, but it's still a psychology thing, Evan. Like, I understand
Just
that you're
call
Jewish.
it a non-denominational scavenger hunt. The rules still apply.
No, but I don't know what. Okay, so you're saying basically this is I actually think I have a comp. Is this akin to like the 40-some-odd-year-old person asking for autographs at spring training, cutting ahead of the kids? Is that what you're saying?
No,
Okay,
this
then I
is
don't understand.
you see someone putting eggs out for an egg hunt. You're sitting there, I don't know what, smoking a cigarette, doing whatever, swinging on a swing, even though it's raining. And you see that there's some eggs sitting under a tree root, and you start grabbing eggs and you run to your car after you see a bunch of kids come out. I think that's inappropriate. What say you?
Yeah, you can't do that. What? Yeah, no, that makes no sense. Why would that person do that?
All right.
That's like,
I don't know.
that's just being not nice and stealing. Now, I understand the price of eggs are very high these days, and in some cases you can only buy 1 carton of eggs in some supermarkets, at least here in New York.
Well,
I don't understand the point of this.
These are plastic eggs.
Well, all right. So can I?
I really don't know.
It's okay.
Yeah, this didn't go. This is, you know what? This didn't go as well as I had hoped. This was a bust, and sometimes things bust.
All right.
This is on me. I should have known religion was going to be an issue here. I should have known we didn't get to where we needed to go. That's on me. My bad.
Okay. All right.
My bad.
All right.
My bad. Mistakes by old T. That happens.
Now, do you fast for Yom Kippur, just out of curiosity?
If I knew when Yom Kippur was, I would. Sure. I think fasting is very good.
I love fasting? Is that what you said?
I do. I do love fasting. I know.
Jesse, look it up. Look it up. When Yom Kippur is in September, October, November, whatever it is this year, I think Tausch should have to fast for the day for Wilde and Tausch. Tausch, it is a high holy day.
Hey,
all
book
right.
it.
So what did we learn? What did we learn today? Let's review. We learned that
You love Aaron Rodgers. You love talking about Aaron
Hold on.
Rodgers.
Yeah, that I do. I'm going to wear Wisconsin gear on Friday,
Jason
but not
thinks
Thursday.
that McCarthy's going to
Jason thinks-
stink, and he's going to Minnesota. And you don't care about egg whites. Those are the three things I learned.
No.
What?
Jason thinks.
That's what I learned.
No, Jason's.
Are you telling me what I learned? What I didn't learn?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jason's reporting that Rodgers thinks J.J. McCarthy stinks and will sign with the Vikings by August 20th. That's what Jason said.
That is
Yes.
good.
Rodgers,
It's a direct quote.
Rodgers' dog is going to be, instead of named Apollo, it's going to be Grant for Bud Grant. That's what we learned here today.
Tarkenton.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Fran
I
the dog. There you go.
I thought we were really rolling, and then we got to the Easter egg hunt.
Yeah, I screwed up with I tried to jam an Easter egg hunt in.
Which I would
with
also
Evan.
like to say, that would have been a great topic for us. So you saved it for Evan. You said explicitly during the first segment of the show you were saving it for Evan, and then it went the way it did. So
because it's a huge. I thought it would be like because Evco loves the psychological part of life too.
Yes,
but
do.
he let religion kind of overtake it, which I get.
No.
I knew that was a potential issue, and it turns out that was the case. So
There's no
that
issue.
was.
It's more of I don't know rules and regulations behind Easter egg hunts in a way that maybe I should.
They're really complicated, Evan. Hide an egg and go get it. That's the gist of the egg.
I thought it was a real egg. Think about how dumb I am. I thought it was scrambled eggs, like real eggs.
Wednesday, October 1st into Thursday, October 2nd. Tausch is fast for Yom Kippur this year.
Which days?
There you go.
Wednesday into a Thursday, October 1st into the 2nd.
It is the day that ends in Y, Jesse, so there's a chance he's off.
I'm taking that Thursday off after he hasn't eaten for that long.
We'll have less sleep and we'll be grumpy.
Ironically, October 2nd, 1993, the date of my bar mitzvah. So perfect timing. There you go.
Evan,
interesting.
I hope you had a great Passover last week. We appreciate you coming on the show. Thanks a lot.
Shabbat shalom to all of you. Thank you.
That is Evan Cohen of Unsportsmanlike. He will be here in Green Bay as Unsportsmanlike will air live from the Tundra Trio Thursday and Friday. He's on his way here soon, so we appreciate that.
Good call, old T.
I love
that's on me.
I love the Easter egg conversation. I would like to have that discussion. Do we feel like that was such a flop with Evan that now we're going to move on from it?
Yeah, we're moving on.
No.
It's over. I'm done with it. You guys can do an extra half hour after the show on it. I'm done with it. I thought it would be good, and I was wrong. And sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. I was wrong.
You always win when you
Put it
make
on
the
me.
switch to Associated Bank. Their customer service much better than Tausch's brother's Easter egg hunt in a park. Please, can we discuss this? Why did you go to a park?
Did you reserve the park, or was it public and fair game?
Hey, I screwed up. You guys always say hold yourself accountable. I did. It sucks. We're moving on. Let's go.
Yeah, I think it just was put in the wrong place with the wrong parts and the wrong people involved. But regardless, hey, they don't make those mistakes at Associated Bank. They have the best customer service in the industry. They've got the awards to prove it, and they've got the perks to prove it as well. Early pay, have access to your direct deposit up to 2 days early. Fraud protection, make sure that you're covered if something goes awry. I've experienced it myself. They are awesome when it comes to that. Credit monitoring to make sure that your credit score is where you want it. And, of course, Packers checking, Badgers checking, and Brewers checking. Everything you need to be a great sports fan with great customer service from your favorite bank. So go to AssociatedBank.com to find out more. More Wilde and Tausch. Not about Easter egg hunts, though, apparently. Straight ahead. Stick around.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. It doesn't matter if it's your first betting slip ever or just the first one of the week. We've got your Potawatomi sportsbook picks covered. Tune in Wednesdays to the Weekly Wager with Greg Matzik, Ben Brust, and Jen Latta.
If someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything, you take it.
The Weekly Wager, Wednesday nights at 6, right here on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel.
Hey, Gina, did you hear about the draft?
Wayne, there's no draft at Pella.
There's definitely a draft. Right, Wilde? Yeah, everybody's talking about it.
Pella windows are constructed of the highest quality. No drafts. But Pella should be everyone's number one pick because right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get no interest financing options or free glass upgrades.
So where is the draft?
Coon. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply and sport 30/2025.
It's party time at Cousins Subs. For a limited time only, Cousins 2-foot party subs are back. Choose from the ham and provolone, Italian special, or turkey. Each party sub is just $39.99. Feeds 5 to 8 people and requires 24-hour notice to order. And now you can complete your party by adding a party chip bag and a dozen chocolate chip cookies for just $4.99. Order today in store, online, or on the app. Cousins Subs. We believe in better.
The UW Credit Union member Mark Tauscher here. People ask me, old T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, is it to keep your banking local? Is it the member first service? Great perks like early payday? Absolutely. But honestly, between us, it's Bucky. I can't say no to that face. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes us do crazy things, but this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member and get your Bucky card like me. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Shop Kohl's Epic Deals today and save big on spring styles you love. Find epic deals like tees and tanks starting at $6.99, pillows or cozy towels for $2.99, stylish sandals starting at $12.99, and so much more. Plus, you can earn Kohl's Cash too. Spring is in the air, and so are the savings when you shop at Kohl's and Kohl's.com. Select styles. Offer valid through April 27th. Exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Now, your big ideas don't have to wait. They have everything they need to come to life because Dell Technologies and Intel are creating technology that loves ideas. A technology that loves expanding your business and evolving your passion. We push what technology can do so great ideas can happen right now. Find out how to bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to Now.
During draft week, make the ultimate pick your child's future. Bet on their success with Advest 529, Wisconsin's direct sold college savings plan. Here's the play. Open an Advest 529 account now until April 27th with just $25, and Advest will match it with $25. That's right. Save $25, get $25. The clock is ticking. Don't miss your shot to score a brighter future. Open your account before April 27th to score your bonus. Go to advest.com/draft25 to lock in your $25 bonus today.
as clutch of a player to ever play basketball.
It's Dame time on Season 4 of Behind the Bucks on Bucks Plus.
This year, I was like, I need to impose myself more on this team.
Explore Damian Lillard's journey to becoming a top 75 player in NBA history.
That's what really had me feeling like this is going to be great.
Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker, and H&R Benefits Consultant. Find Bucks Plus on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and wherever you get podcasts.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Pass my shoulder on one less day from dying young, and I'm not afraid of getting older on one less day from dying young, and I see the lights.
As much as I would like to discuss this wayward egg hunt, because, look, if those things were placed and then I came into the park and came across them, I might have picked them up too. But we're not doing that because Tausch hath proclaimed that he wasted the topic with Evan, and we're not revisiting it. Plus, we have breaking news.
Oh, baby, now this is some breaking news.
Guess who's back? Back again. Guess who's back? Tell a friend about Game 2. Jesse, what's the breaking news from Sham Charania?
ESPN's Sham Charania reporting Milwaukee's Damian Lillard will return to action tonight in Game 2 against the Indiana Pacers. Dame time. Game 2 tonight, 6 o'clock.
So, let me ask you this, Jesse. When he was barking at Tyrese Halliburton during Game 1 when they were getting their tuchuses kicked, did you think he was coming back for Game 2? Because I did. I thought that was like, all right, he's feeling it. He knows he's going to be back for Game 2. He knows this game is largely irrelevant. He's getting ramped up. That was how I viewed that. Am I alone in that opinion?
I think if they had been able to steal Game 1, he may have sat Game 2 and come back if you're 1-1 going into Game 3. But I think the significance of avoiding going down 2-0 is pretty large against the Pacers here, and given the way the Bucks have played lately. So I think tonight became big once they got down by 20-plus against Indiana on Saturday afternoon. So, yeah, I'm with you. I think he knew he wanted to be back here tonight. And just the way the reports came out late last week, but leading up to Game 1 about, he expects to be back like Game 2 or 3. Yeah, I think everyone had this one circled tonight pending a setback.
Tausch, does this impact your plans for today? Are you going to get in the car and head down I-90 down to the Hard Rock Casino and maybe show your confidence in the Bucks with a little, putting a couple dollars down on them?
Nope, this is not. I'm more nervous. I'm glad I had asked my mom or my brother to go down because they're closer and go and get that Bucks futures. What was it again? 10,000 to 1?
Plus 10,000 on
plus 10,000.
Yeah.
You asked your mom to go to a casino to place a bet for you?
Hey, Jason, older ladies, typically that is a great demo. Not only for our show, but also for casinos.
Right.
Like, have you been in a casino?
I have. I'll be honest.
When? You understand that like a lot of older women love going to casinos?
Yes. I was at the sports book at Potawatomi. I did not see a lot of Diane Tauscher's demographic.
Go out to the floor,
book.
man. You don't think bing, 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 bing.
We're arguing
blackjack.
Two different
Are you
things.
serious?
Are they really? Are they big blackjack players, the older ladies?
Yes.
Okay. I've seen plenty of them in casinos when I've been there.
I don't think you have.
I have, but not
I
in the
don't
sports
think you
book
have.
placing wagers for their son.
I think you're too busy standing out. I think you're too busy standing out front waiting 3 days for a garbage man to come pick up your garbage and to go out to sit on a casino floor. But if you did, and we're heading down there, I think March 8th or May 8th, I don't know exactly.
Going back
we haven't got that all confirmed yet.
Or we're really planning ahead.
We are excited. We love the Hard Rock Casino in Rockford. Try to get Jesse to go down there. Features over 175,000 square feet of gaming and entertainment space, including more than 1,300 slot machines that I guess Jason doesn't know. 50 live table games, a sports book, and a rock shop. I'll tell you what. If we get down there on May 8th, which I believe is the
I'm going to pick your mom up on my way.
It's $2,200 for plus $2,200 for Jordan Love to be the MVP next year. That's interesting to me. If the Bucks can sneak a couple games, that's interesting.
Tausch's mom
the
told him
food,
to bet that.
the food at Hard Rock is interesting to me. Diverse dining options, Council Oak Steaks and Seafood, Bricked Italian Kitchen, the Noodle Bar, street tacos, and constant grind. Head on down, hit 90, head on down towards Rockford. Beautiful, big old purple and gold guitar. Oh, just popping off I-90 in Rockford, Illinois, a premier entertainment destination.
Hey, Grandma T, can I take the Maple Leafs over Ottawa tonight? Can you get over there for me?
Could I have been interrupted more during that read? I don't think so.
I would appreciate it during the break if you would text your mom and ask her how she's fared at the various table games that she frequently plays at local casinos. I would like to know, is she up or down for the year?
She lost $10 the last time she went. I know that.
Grandma T, I got the Lakers minus 5.5 if you can get over there before 9 tonight. Nice bounce back.
Yeah, is that what it's at? Oh, Lakers big tonight.
Yeah. Oh, no yeah, 5.5, yeah.
The 10 o'clock hour will be Tausch. Begins in 2 minutes. Diane, get on the road. We got some bets to place. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
If you're a motorist of the four-wheel variety, please watch out for those of us in Wisconsin who do their traveling on 2 wheels. Adjust your mirrors to reduce your blind spots. Allow motorcyclists a full lane width. Use your turn signal when merging or changing lanes. And allow more following distance between you and the motorcycle. Motorists and motorcyclists can work together to achieve 0 preventable deaths on Wisconsin roads. 0 in Wisconsin. Together we can save lives. Learn more at zeroinwisconsin.gov. Wisconsin DOT.
Need a new vehicle? Check out Ewald Automotive Group's Spring Into a New Ride sales event. Over 1,500 new and used vehicles. Get Ewald's low price guarantee on new vehicles. Shop our certified best used cars starting under $99.95. Financing for everyone. No payments till summer with approved credit. Now is the time to upgrade with Ewald. Friendly people who treat you right. Great selection and low prices at 10 locations. Go to EwaldAuto.com.
Save big money on everyday items you need at Menards. Eliminate odors with Damp Rid Moisture Absorbers. They're perfect for basements, attics, closets, and more. Damp Rid Moisture Absorbers work to attract and trap excess moisture to create noticeably cleaner, fresher air. Save big on Damp Rid Moisture Absorbers at Menards. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
A Brewers group outing is the best way to celebrate any special occasion. Whether it's a birthday party, anniversary, or bachelor party, baseball is better with the group. Grab your crew of just 15 or more for an event you won't forget. Brewers account reps make your day at the ballpark a breeze. Plus, get set up with customizable tailgate spaces, seating blocks in your favorite location at American Family Field, and much more. Start planning your group outing now at brewers.com/groups.
Hey, this is Jen Latta. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now. And while he squandered the egg hunt topic...
Yeah, I don't make mistakes like that usually.
Pretty
very
big
disappointed.
one. Yeah, I'm disappointed in you.
That was dumb.
Yeah,
I
don't know what you were thinking. But I know what you were thinking for another topic that I don't want you to screw up because I think it's a really good one. Because I'm trying to ascertain where the Packers fan base is on one Brian J. Gutekunst. Because if you monitor our social media, if you go into the YouTube comments, which I'm way behind on those. I didn't really check them very much yesterday. I haven't checked them enough today to see where people are at. But,
Michael in the ESPN Milwaukee YouTube comments I saw said, the only person on the show he legitimately hates is me. It's not very nice.
Well, wait,
that's not very nice.
So, yeah, but does Michael, and you're giving Michael exactly what he wants.
Yeah.
If he had to make a statement like that, it is most likely because he speaks as if he hates all of us. Which maybe he hate listens, which again, that demographic
like
counts
that.
too.
I don't mind.
So we appreciate him tuning in.
Counts as one in the scorecard.
Exactly. So your question, though, was this. How much do you trust Goody? And I think it's a great, great question, much like I like the egg hunt topic as a great question that you ruined. How much do you trust Goody? Because you do have a reputation, fair or not, as a Goody stan. And you own that.
No, it's fair. No, it's very fair.
I think, there are those that because of the dynamic of our show, they think I am extremely anti-Goody, and you are very much pro-Goody. Whereas I think you are able to see his faults. You maybe don't emphasize them. And I am able to see his wins. What would you like to say?
No, I mean, I've emphasized he's made some really bad decisions. Goody's had some bad decisions. But I keep coming back to, you're a general manager in the NFL. Your job is to put your roster in position with your coaching staff to have opportunities to win championships. GMs ain't winning games at Lambeau on January 28th. Players and coaches are doing that. You're not blowing games in early January when your special team stinks. So I get it. He's had mistakes. He's done some things, and he's had some drafts that haven't been good. I've said that. But, man, if last year didn't give you Goody is not afraid to admit a mistake and move and find a solution, I don't know what to tell the Goody haters. Yes, the 2020 and 21 drafts weren't very good. I didn't defend him on that, but he got a starting quarterback out of it. Made a really tough decision, and it's worked. But this whole concept, and we used to say this all the time. This was, right when our show started. In Ted, we trust. Should we have? Because his drafts at the back end, not great. In Goody, we trust. That's why I always lean on the Ronald Reagan quote. Trust is
but
great.
verify.
Verification is better. Goody, we have trusted that he is very good at his job. He has been very good at admitting mistakes and identifying and giving solutions. Xavier McKinney, Josh Jacobs, the kicking spot. Now you could say, well, the kicking spot was on him. Yep. And instead of saying, we are going to wear this out, hey, we're going to solve it. We're going to find a solution. Backup quarterback. We didn't like where they're at. Let's go get Malik Willis. Without that, we're not even, oh, God, can you imagine the conversations this offseason if Malik Willis wasn't on this team last year? So we can't just sit here and say, trust everything Goody does. Because that ain't right either. I don't want to be sitting here rubber stamping everything that Brian Gutekunst does, but he has done a good job getting into a spot where he has put his roster in these positions. But this year, There are some things that need to be addressed, or you're going to continue to see 6, 7 seeds instead of being 1 and 2 seeds.
So I don't know what the season holds. You just happened to mention amid your somewhat convoluted telling of our trip to the Hard Rock Casino in Rockford that you saw Love is 20 plus 2,200 to win the MVP.
Yes.
Would you say that your Goody standum is based in part in your belief in Jordan Love and that you are more bullish on him than maybe some of the rest of us are who believe he's good, but he's got a lot to prove, and he is, as it turns out, despite that hot streak toward the end of the 23 season, not anywhere close to the two guys that came before him. And we were talking about him like he was the next in that lineage, and we were premature in that. Would you agree with that?
Here's what I would say. We crowned him too early as Packer fans. He is not the turnover machine and not running the football guy that we saw in the beginning of last season. He is more in line with what we saw, I think, at the back end of the season 2 years ago. That is the goal. That's what we hope. He needs to verify. I think Jordan Love has a chance to be a really good quarterback. Do I think that he has a chance to be one of the all-time greats? Not as we sit here right now. I can't say that. But, again, fandom and I think punditry, everything is instant reaction. Everything is instant ramen. When I was over in Japan, I had some of the best ramen. It takes time. You got to develop a broth. You got to make a noodle. If you want to go to your local grocery, grab one of those Instacups and fight. That's what a lot of us do. I'm asking, as a Packer fan, let's let this ramen fester and let's see what we got. Because let me tell you something. Ramen that you let a broth develop and you let it get its boldness and you let the noodles nurture and you let all the scallions and all the stuff you put in, it is a lot better than if I go to a local spot, grab one, fire some water in, throw it in a microwave, and hope you're going to get what you get. He's only 2 years in. Let the ramen develop. That's all I'm saying.
In fairness, he is entering his 6th NFL season. I don't think he gets the same degree.
He had 2 years. There was no water boiling. No water boiled.
I'll give you 2020.
He never had his jersey on, Jay. First year, no jersey, no
right,
water, no broth.
So why does 21 also give him that then? 21 was the year that he started a game and was not very good.
Yeah, it wasn't great. No.
22 was the year where they could have segued to him and gotten a haul for Aaron Rodgers, and the general manager who drafted him did not believe enough that not only did he not segue to him, he also gave Aaron Rodgers $150 million, which hamstrung them with a $41 million dead cap charge then when they moved on from him. And they were
but he
able
was
to
happy to do it.
Yeah, he was very happy to eat that. Yes, that's what he told us. So my point is that your view of, not you personally, your collectively view of Goody hinges in large part, not entirely, but in large part, of how convinced you are that he got the quarterback right. And there was a time during the second half of the 2023 season when all of us, myself included, were on board with he got the quarterback right. I have since withdrawn that slightly. I agree with you. He has a chance to be a really, really good quarterback. He has a chance to be good enough for them to win a Super Bowl.
Yes.
But we have definitely overestimated him. There are fans in this fan base who want to make more excuses for Jordan than Jordan himself wants to make for himself. The injuries, certainly a factor. I would also add that the two guys you played with played through a hell of a lot worse than a groin injury and an MCL strain that he missed 2 games for. And he took some shrapnel early in the season, because there were those who were thinking, well, Favre and Rodgers would have played through this, and he's not. Whether that was fair or not. Yes, there were. I'm telling you, there were fans who felt that way.
I understand. Listen, J-Dub, I do this show with you. I hear from fans, too. I think most were relieved that he didn't blow his ACL and miss 7 weeks. He got back 2 weeks
fans.
For an 8-week injury, he missed 2 games.
Come on, 8-week injury.
6 to 8 weeks was what the initial report was. Yes.
Okay.
That's what it was.
I think we're getting lost in the weeds here.
What's the weeds?
The key question you wanted to ask.
Your ramen.
Yeah, we got lost in the ramen for sure. Is where is your trust level in Goody? Tausch will answer that question. You can answer that question via the Carbless Talk and text line 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Tausch needs to tell us about if his beer fridge was inviting Goody over for a couple of pops, it would have undeniably be full of Coors Light.
Coors Light is brewed with that 3-step cold process, cold lager, cold filtered, and it is cold packaged, so it is made to chill. Make sure those mountains are blue. That's when you know Coors Light's cold activated bottles and cans are chilled to perfection. That's why it is always Coors Light in my hand when I need a moment to chill. Celebrate responsibly, Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
What's your trust level in Goody? 844-770-3776. That's the Carbless Talk and text line. Lists is more. We'll get your thoughts next. And Tausch's. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio. You remember the moments from that magical March.
Side Decker. It's a 3. Got it!
On June 26th, celebrate the squad with Made 'em Believe. A special night with Bo Ryan, Frank Kaminsky, and Sam Decker.
Here's Kaminsky. The drop stab. That's his favorite. And the 2.
Presented by Bud Light, Michelob Ultra, Potosi Varsity Ale, and Potosi Hard Seltzer. Tickets are on sale now at UWHoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe. June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
Becoming a truck driver doesn't have to be complicated. At Schneider, we make it easy to get your commercial driver's license and start your new career. With our CDL apprenticeship training, you'll get paid to become a truck driver in just 5 to 6 weeks and have a Schneider driving job waiting for you when you've completed the program. Plus, during training, Schneider will provide transportation, lodging, and meals at no cost to you. Ready to get your career on the road? Learn more and apply today at SchneiderJobs.com. That's SchneiderJobs.com.
With 18 unforgettable holes on 250 acres of natural private land, the Bog provides the ultimate golf experience. To book your next tee time, call 262-284-7075 or visit golfthebog.com. Enjoy golf. Enjoy the Bog.
Protect your home and auto with a bundle from Progressive so you can stop worrying about them and invent new things to worry about, like snakes in your bedroom. Sure, that sounds incredibly irrational, but now that we've mentioned it, you are a little worried. The odds of one snake, let alone snakes plural, are so slim. But you might want to check. Oh, you're not near your bedroom. Guess you'll just have to sit there and worry about it. So let Progressive protect your home and auto, because you've got enough to worry about. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
What's the best way to refresh your spring wardrobe? Easy. Just come into Macy's and meet with one of our free personal stylists. They're experts who know more than just the latest trends and styles. They know how to find the looks, fits, and sizes that are perfect for you. Even better, get an extra 20% off purchases at your first session. So book your free appointment in-store or at Macys.com/personal stylist and walk out with a whole new spring wardrobe at 20% off. Savings off regular and already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Bev Anderson has a big idea she wants to share.
Bev has been here for 24 years.
Hi, Bev. We're anxious to hear your idea.
Kesler's is 45 years old this year. Monica, remember when your dad used to say in every radio ad, "I'm Richard Kesler, and I want to be your jeweler"?
I never got to hear that.
Yeah, and then Rick would say,
Kesler's Diamonds, inconveniently located on Appleton Avenue, Menominee Falls.
Inconveniently?
Richard said it was inconvenient for people to have to drive all the way to Menominee Falls, so he might as well admit it.
Bev, tell us your idea.
Richard said something else in almost every ad, and I think we should start saying it again because it's really important.
Tell us.
We do diamonds better because diamonds are what we do.
I love that.
Fantastic idea, Bev.
Kessler's Diamonds.
We do diamonds better because diamonds are what we do.
For the location nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
Mark Tauscher here, and these days I am sleeping better than ever. I am so thankful I met with the great team at Advent to help solve my sleeping problems. The Advent team is so great to work with, and their consultations are very informative. The Advent team listened to my struggles, and rather than forcing a surgery, they helped me find the best solution for a better night's sleep. My family and I are so thankful the solutions from Advent worked. To see how they can help you with snoring, sleep apnea, and nasal breathing problems, go to adventknows.com, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Popped into the YouTube comments, which is always fraught.
Good luck in there.
Jesse's fan club is still in full force. But look, do I think that Tausch is a bigger believer in Goody than me? Yes. Do I think that? Sure. Do I think that Goody is a better GM than some big-time Goody haters believe? Yes, obviously. But I do understand the fan base feeling of they don't feel as if he does everything he can to win now. That this concept of giving yourself a chance to have a chance, which I personally agree with, by the way, rubs some fans the wrong way. They think it's never going to result in an actual championship. And I disagree, but
yeah, I know you do.
I do understand that is kind of the mentality that bothers them, that Goody seems to have. And
Jason, quick question. I agree with your sentiment that you don't feel that way, and you've been, ever since Goody lied to you, you've been a little more critical of him, which is fine. Personal relationships do matter. But when people say he hasn't went all in or done that, who said in 20 and 21 that we didn't go all in? He signed older veteran players. He did. You were a 1 seed both years. What else did you want him to do? I'm being dead honest. What else did you want him to do? You can't go all in every year. The league doesn't let you. You got to pick your spots.
I don't want to speak for fans.
This isn't Hard Rock Casino. You can't just keep firing chips in. Eventually, you got to go and either collect or revisit. The NFL isn't a casino. It's not all in, all in, all in, all in. That's not how it works.
Right, yeah. Goody's
and the fact that you saw 2 seasons of all in and a 1 seed with the most important 1 seed in the history of football, that should be a babe, Goot. Instead of, well, if he had drafted Tristan Wirfs, he'd have had a championship, or if this did that, I don't know what else you want him to do.
First of all, yes, it is not a casino. Goody cannot send his mom in to make decisions for him. Secondly, I think the feeling about, and again, I don't want to speak for fans, I think when you say they went, quote-unquote, all in 20 and 21, they kept the band together that was already existing and pushed things out into the cap future to keep the Rodgers veteran-laden team together, which Goody didn't probably really want to do in his heart of hearts. So he felt like he was doing something more than he wanted to do to keep those veteran players together. I'm not sure, but I think what most would argue is all in is bringing in additional pieces that you don't have already and adding to what you already have and figuring out ways. Because, look, the salary cap argument is a convenient criticism, as Mike McCarthy, I'm sure, will say on the Pat McAfee show, because it's an issue until you make it not an issue, right? It's a challenge. It's an issue. It's preventing us from doing these things until there's something you really want to do, and then you find a way to circumvent it and do something. And so I think that in my interactions with fans, their feelings about those seasons were there was opportunity to do more to give them an even better chance to get to where they wanted to go. You're right. They had number one seeds both years. But he could have done...
At some point...
The number one seed doesn't guarantee a path to the Super Bowl. You know that. It doesn't.
Jason, from a general manager standpoint, if you tell them when the draft starts, hey, we're going to have a roster that's good enough to host every blanking playoff game in January, you sign up 100 out of 90 times. That's how often you sign up.
I don't know.
You can only do so much.
There.
I don't fully... You're going to say Odell Beckham Jr. Is that where that conversation is going to go?
I don't have a person in mind specifically. I'm just telling you what the sentiment was. That's all I'm saying.
What do you think? Fans can always say what they want, and that's great. I love it. Great.
Right.
I don't know what else you could tell a general manager to do than, hey, build us a roster, get us in position where we don't have to play the opening weekend, and everybody comes through our town to get to a Super Bowl. What else do you want a GM to do?
Right, and my pushback on you is that he had a guy who played at an MVP, won the MVP both of those years. So what is his... And again, I hate this argument, but I'm going to make it anyway.
You're going to penalize him for having an MVP quarterback.
How good is his roster without Aaron Rodgers making it better? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I'm asking it. I
don't know. When Aaron Rodgers left and you brought a rookie quarterback in, you ended up being the first 7 seed to beat a 2 seed.
Right,
and then
when Aaron Rodgers was still here in 2022, you had such a crummy roster that you didn't even make the playoffs when he was playing with a broken thumb and did not play at an MVP level. True?
Why are you like, well, yeah, you got your quarterback doesn't get you into playoffs too. I mean, it goes hand in hand.
Right, your number one receiver was Alan Lazard. Did you do a good enough job of giving the 2022 team a chance to win a title?
So when I hear you say this, and I'm not being blasphemous here, and I'm not saying this, then I'm almost wondering, are you advocating that Goody shouldn't even be the GM? 7 years.
No, come on. That's not what I said.
I just said,
the 2021
Jason, I said I'm
team
not,
that lost at home as the number one seed. Listen
Jason,
to the names of the people on this team. And you tell me how many really good players were on this team. Okay?
Okay. Yeah.
Devontae Adams, no doubt. Aaron Jones, no doubt. Aaron Rodgers, no doubt. Right? 3 really, really good players on offense. Alan Lazard, A.J. Dillon, Randall Cobb, MVS, Josiah DeGuara, Mercedes Lewis, Robert Tunyon, Equanimous St. Brown, Juwan Winfrey, Amari Rodgers, Tyler Davis. These are all people that caught passes. Are there any good players in that group? A.J. Dillon was their leading rusher in 21.
Okay. So, Jason, here's the deal. You can't have it both ways. You had a roster that got the 1 seed. Obviously, they stunk in the playoff game, scored 10 points, got beat. Special team stunk.
Offense stunk, too.
You either think, I'm not arguing with you. So you either think that he's done a good job and you should trust him, or you think he blew it with a franchise quarterback, and why are we still having him as our GM? You can't. It's one or the other.
All right. If it's black and white to you, that's fine. To me, he's not as great as you think he is. He's not as bad as some people think he is. He is a decent, good GM.
Last
year,
year,
I don't think he should be fired. I don't think he sucks.
Okay. So what do you want him to do?
What do I want him to do?
What do you want him to do?
If he's going to tell his play, because look, this all boils down to, and we're overdue for another break, but this all boils down to is he believes, as he said yesterday, which I really want to get to this exchange that we had with him, he believes that he has assembled a team good enough to win a title. And he's going to augment that with the draft picks. He augmented it with a guard and a nickel corner who they see as more versatile than the Raiders saw in Nate Hobbs.
Yep.
But when he made the urgency comment, and I have critiqued that multiple times, that was his way of saying, look, I've put together a good enough team. It's on you guys to have the urgency to play at the level that I expect you to. That is how I interpret that. I personally would prefer, you know what, I think I've put together a pretty good team, but I know there's more that I can do to give us a better chance, instead of putting it on the urgency of the players. That's my critique.
Okay.
I don't think that's overly harsh. I don't think that's unfair.
Okay, so if they are the 7th seed again and get beat by Philly or whomever, does Goody need to go?
I don't know what the new president is going to want to do.
There's no urgency then, because you're getting the same thing and you're asking for other stuff and nothing is getting improved. And now you got 3 years in a row, you're a 7th seed, where 3 years ago you wouldn't even been to playoffs. At some point, you either have to say, I think Goody has done a really good job, or you say, he's been average. He's been average.
Yeah.
That's why I say you can't have it both ways. And I think I look at the big picture, and again, maybe I'm skewed, because I remember getting called and said, hey, Mike McCarthy just got fired. We need to do a 2-hour show. We got issues. It's cold. Mason missed a 51-yard field goal, and they just lost to the stinking Cardinals. This thing is done. And then I remember, it didn't take long. They're in another blanket championship game. Didn't take long. I don't know who was accumulating talent doing that. I think it was Brian Gutekunst. And then I remember
maybe it was
2
having
straight
a new
seasons.
coach and a new offensive system. Why does Goody get credit for that too?
And he was a part of that too.
Oh, come on. Get out of here. Tell us about Prize Picks.
Oh, come on. Get out of here.
I just love the fact everybody sits there, and I am not saying
Goody's
that
so
you
great.
shouldn't
He
criticize
cured polio.
Oh, come on.
Well, Jason is sitting there, and he is speaking for a lot of fans. A lot of fans have the you-know-what to say. If it happens again, he's got to go. And that's all I'm saying. If that's how you guys feel, say it.
You're totally trying to make this about my opinion instead of your own, which is fine. Tell us your opinion.
My opinion is he's a really good GM. My opinion, he's a really good GM. That's my opinion.
Does a really good GM at some point win a Super Bowl? Maybe this is the year.
No. There's been a lot of GMs that haven't.
Okay.
Jason.
Ted Thompson won one. Ron Wolf won one.
Prize Picks, the best place to get real money sports action. Over 10 million members, billions of dollars in awarded winnings. Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to everybody, and it's simple, more or less. Jesse, we had a good day on Saturday with the Bucks. Yanni, told you Halliburton wasn't going to go crazy. And I also thought Kuz was going to struggle, and of course he did. Prize Picks, the best place to get in on sports action in more than 30 states. Yeah, that was a gimme. Prize Picks, just get on board, download the app, use code WI. You got a Bucks game tonight, got a Lakers game. I love both of those. I'll get my picks out after I talk to Jesse and my mom. Use code WI to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game.
Dame, 29 points, rebounds, assists. He is on the board. Oh,
he's got to be on a limited minutes restriction tonight, doesn't he?
If he's all go for game 2
Not
of the
going
playoffs,
full tilt.
19.5 points. Just want the straight
What's
points.
Yanni's number? We'll get into Bucks talk in the next hour.
Kuzma, half a rebound, assist, or points.
Scrolling quite a ways to try and find it. 9.5 points for Kuzma tonight.
More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Quality isn't just a promise, it's a process. At Higher Love, they craft with integrity, delivering farm-to-table products you can trust. As the only clean green certified organic cultivator in the Upper Peninsula, Higher Love takes pride in growing pure premium products. meaning better quality at better value and a difference you can feel. You can find Higher Love just across the border in Menominee and Ironwood, or at any of their 9 locations throughout the UP. Get more information at findhigherlove.com/CBD.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tausch here for Kohler Services. Well, if you think your shower is one of the ugliest in Wisconsin, upload a photo to goodkarmabrands.com/Wisconsin contest for a chance to win a free shower remodel. Yes, you heard me correctly. One lucky fan will win a free shower remodel from Kohler Services, including a design consultation, demolition, and removal of your existing shower or bath, and installation of a brand new Kohler Lugstone shower. Goodkarmabrands.com/Wisconsin contest for your chance to win.
Introducing the newest carbless flavor, Mango Vodka. Flavored with the essence of the ripest, freshest mangoes, carbless mango vodka will transport your taste buds to a sunny beach getaway. New flavor, still the same carbless crafted cocktails with 0 carbs, 0 sugars, and only 100 calories. Enjoy a refreshing vodka cocktail without the guilt. 4 packs of the new carbless mango vodka cocktail are available in stores near you. Find your bliss today at drinkcarbless.com and escape with every sip.
Hey, Gina, did you hear about the draft?
Wayne, there's no draft at Pella.
There's definitely a draft. Right, Wilde?
Yeah, everybody's talking about it.
Pella windows are constructed of the highest quality. No drafts. But Pella should be everyone's #1 pick because right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get no interest financing options or free glass upgrades.
So where is the draft?
Coon. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply in 4/30/2025.
Attend Biz Expo May 13th at Brookfield Conference Center and the keynote on resilient leadership, thriving in challenging times. Stay for the strategy seminars and connect with customers. Biz Expo is May 13th. Register at biztimes.com/bizexpo.
Whether tailgating or hosting at home, don't serve boring, bland food. As the official grill of the Green Bay Packers, Pit Boss brings the heat with a wide range of wood pellet grills, smokers, and hardwood pellet fuel. Reach another level of flavor that can't be achieved with a charcoal or gas grill, and it's beyond easy. Seriously, Pit Boss grills get cooking with just a few simple steps. Grill, smoke, bake, roast, braise, char grill, barbecue, and direct flame sear. The all-in-one Pit Boss does it all. Learn more today at pitboss-grills.com.
As clutch of a player to ever play basketball.
It's game time on Season 4 of Behind the Bucks on Bucks Plus.
This year I was like, I need to impose myself more on this team.
Explore Damian Lillard's journey to becoming a top 75 player in NBA history.
That's what really had me feeling like this is going to be great.
Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and H&R benefits consultant. Find Bucks Plus on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
For general contest rules, visit ESPNWisconsinContest.com.
I feel so stuck.
The Veterans Crisis Line is here for you. Dial 988, then press 1 to call.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
In the interest of fair and balanced coverage of the Green Bay Packers general manager, which I think I provide, but it's apparently open for debate, a couple of tweets that I think are very well done. On one side, our MVT, Matthew Coonan. One of Goody's biggest flaws, in the Coon Dog's opinion, is his typical developmental picks that have a lot to prove don't ultimately prove it. Now, LVN would be under that category this year, right? Saying let the ramen develop is giving Goody a pass on a trend. Mr. Tausch, your response.
Listen, man, first off, Coonan's great. Goody ain't perfect. I've said that from the jump. He's made mistakes. His drafts, I think last year's draft is looking better. 2 years ago, draft looks pretty good, but got to take a jump. He had really bad drafts in 20 and 21 outside of Jordan Love. I can't sit here and tell you that that's not the case because I'm not one of these guys. I'm not going to do the urine analogy, but you know what I mean. I'm not going to tell you something when I can see right here. Well, no, it is raining outside. Well, no, it's sunny. No, I can see rain coming down. I'm not that ain't where I'm at. So, yeah, Goody needs to have a good draft. He needs to pick this. There is an urgency in this year's draft that I think is needed, especially with a couple of the positions that he didn't go get. But he said it yesterday to you guys. He doesn't view it the same way as fans do.
Yeah.
And you know what's great? That's awesome. As long
he shouldn't.
As we see Dobbs and Reed and maybe a corner pop up and say, he's right. Goody is right. Because if Goody ain't right, then everybody calling for jobs, I think it's fair. If you see a team that doesn't make the playoffs or is struggling again, you need to evaluate because that would be 3 seasons that if you're limping it a 7 seed or worse, that's a problem.
Yeah, you seem to think that it comes down to how you view Love. I would say that there is a long list of players that we're not sure how good they are. Is Quay Walker good or not? Is Devontae Wyatt good or not? Is Christian Watson good or not? Sean Ryan, we already have kind of assumed he's going to be the odd man out. He'll start for another year, then they'll move on from him. Is Romeo Dobbs good or not? We agree Zach Tom is good. Kingsley Enagbare, is he good or is he not? Not sure. Lucas Van Ness, I don't know if he's good or not. Tucker Kraft, I know is good, but I don't know about Luke Musgrave. I think Jaden Reed is good, but I'm not sure if Dontavion Wicks, who I thought might be the second coming of Devontae Adams, is good or not. Carl Brooks seems like he's okay. I kind of like having him on the team, but is Colby Wooden anything more than just a guy? I don't know. Those are the 2 drafts that make up a large portion of what this team is, and we don't know about them to say definitively this guy's good or this guy's not. They're all kind of in this amorphous blob, and I don't know. And that's why this year's so vital, in my opinion.
So how much do you think Packer fans trust Goody? And I don't know what the scale should be. In Goody we trust, or boy.
Yeah, I don't want to answer for them. I want to read this tweet and then take a break and then discuss this some more. Frozen Fairways on Twitter. His handle is Golf Up North, which I think is good advice. There's a lot of good golf up north. Goody is better than most. He transitioned this team from QB 12 and the cap mayhem, and the team hasn't missed the playoffs since. That's pretty dang impressive. A couple bad draft picks here and there don't define a GM. A competitive team year in and year out does. I think everything that Frozen Fairways says there is reasonable and accurate. There are fans, though, that would say a competitive team year in and year out is insufficient. And if we sit here and say that they're another 7 seed and they punch out in the first round in a road game again, and we're talking about, well, should they fire him? I don't know, because if you're a 7 seed and you win 11 games but you don't win the division and you're playing on the road and you lose, you're competitive year in and year out. There's no denying you're competitive, but is that enough? Because it's not competitive town. Goody says it as much as anybody. They call it Titletown for a reason. All right, I want to get to more text on the Carbless Talk and text line and more of your thoughts on this because it is, in my opinion, a nuanced conversation. We'll push back trivia to a little bit later in the show, but Tausch needs to tell us about another fun game, and that is the contest that we have going on with Kohler Services and the shower replacement opportunity that you will have.
Yeah, if you think that your shower is one of the ugliest in Wisconsin, we got a great little gambit for you. Upload a photo of that ugly shower or bath to goodkarmabrands.com/Wisconsin contest for a chance to win a free shower remodel. You heard me correctly. One lucky fan will win a free shower remodel from Kohler Services, including design consultation, demolition, and a removal of your stank existing shower or bath. You get that installation of the brand new Kohler Lugstone shower. Upload that photo again by April 30th to goodkarmabrands.com/Wisconsin contest. Or I'm going to tell you this. Grab that ESPN Wisconsin app. It's beautiful, right? Put it right up on your phone. Click, and even on, not the savviest. You go, and then there's a little tab. It says contest. Beep. Hit contest. Go down. You got the new shower from Kohler. Click. You put your info in. Bang, bang, boom. Upload the photo. Who knows? You could have that brand new Lugstone shower. Make sure you do it by April 30th.
I clearly need to update my ESPN Wisconsin app because I'm not getting the sound effects that Tausch is getting from his.
What do we think of this ugly shower on the YouTube
That's
stream?
a very small place to stand.
Yeah.
In the shower.
Not conducive for some members of the team here.
No.
No. It comes down to this with Goody. We've talked about whether you believe in him or not a lot. Do you want him as your GM or not? I say yes, you do. I don't think that he's so bad that you're ready to move on.
I just listened to your last half hour.
You know what? I don't think you listen. If that's what you think, then you weren't listening.
Oh,
no,
I listened.
Keep listening to Wilde and Tausch. More next.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance. You remember the moments from that magical March.
Side Decker, it's a three. Got it!
On June 26th, celebrate the squad with Made 'em Believe, a special night with Bo Ryan, Frank Kaminsky, and Sam Decker.
Here's Kaminsky, the drop stab, that's his favorite. And the two.
Presented by Bud Light, Michelob Ultra, Potosi Varsity Ale, and Potosi Hard Seltzer. Tickets are on sale now at uwhoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
Kevin Moret here for Mentality. Life's a relentless competition, and you might be losing without even knowing it. With testosterone levels plummeting 25% in just 2 decades, you're likely operating at a fraction of your potential. Your kids sense it when you're too exhausted for playtime. Your wife notices when that spark fades. Here's the harsh truth. Without addressing low T, nothing works. Diets fail, workouts fall flat, but there's hope. Mentality's FDA-approved treatment restores testosterone by an average of 30%. Don't let low T rob you of life's precious moments. Start at mentalityhealth.com/radio.
Mark Tauscher here for Prize Picks, the best place to turn your sports knowledge into cash. With millions of members, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 2,000 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best place to win cash while watching sports. Join millions of users and sign up today. Cash in on the basketball playoffs with Prize Picks. Don't miss your last chance to add your favorite players from the court to your Prize Picks lineup. Whether it's points, rebounds, assists, take your pick of more or less for your shot to win up to 2,000 times your cash today. Starting with the play-in round, every lineup you make on Prize Picks will enter you in the Takes 2 ticket sweepstakes, which could get you a +1, a VIP trip to the ship. Download the app today and use code WI to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code WI to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA, founder of Right Choice Tax Resolution and best-selling author on how to have less stress with the IRS. We have talked with a number of new clients who told us the same story. They had a tax situation and went with one of those national firms with the TV and radio ads. They guarantee they can settle your tax owed for pennies on the dollar. They take a $10,000 fee up front and then you never hear from them again. We are a local firm and just want to help you resolve your situation so you can get on with your life. Don't let your bank account get wiped out, your paycheck or Social Security check get garnished, or a lien put on your house so you can't sell it or get refinanced. The state can even put a hold on your occupational license. Make the right choice and call 844-222-1192 or visit rightchoicetax.us today. Schedule a free meeting so we can talk and come up with a plan to solve your situation right now. It will not go away if you bury your head in the sand. Call now, 844-222-1192, or visit rightchoicetax.us.
Bev Anderson has a big idea she wants to share.
Bev has been here for 24 years.
Hi, Bev. We're anxious to hear your idea.
Kesler's is 45 years old this year. Monica, remember when your dad used to say in every radio ad, "I'm Richard Kesler, and I want to be your jeweler"?
I never got to hear that.
Yeah, and then Rick would say,
Kesler's Diamonds, inconveniently located on Appleton Avenue, Menominee Falls.
Inconveniently?
Richard said it was inconvenient for people to have to drive all the way to Menominee Falls, so he might as well admit it.
Bev, tell us your idea.
Richard said something else in almost every ad, and I think we should start saying it again because it's really important.
Tell us.
We do diamonds better because diamonds are what we do.
I love that.
Fantastic idea, Bev.
Kesler's Diamonds.
We do diamonds better because diamonds are what we do.
For the location nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
On the private talk and text line, not Pipe Jim, and I'm not going to give this person's identity. That last segment put me over the top. You're not asking for Goody to be fired. You're being fair in your critique. Tausch's stand-em for Goody does you no favors, bud.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, I would agree.
LePay is Team Wilde. Wow.
Interesting. Yeah, I think you can sit there and say nice things about Goody and also say if it doesn't go well, he should be gone. But nobody wants to say that. So I get it. There is nuance with everything.
What does doesn't go well mean? What, like... Let's use Marty. Just wait.
7th seed and get knocked out again first round. If our fans feel like we regressed from what we saw last year, there are big questions that need to be answered. And the question, I guess, is do you put it more because you said this? I believe that Goody restocked the roster really well from when Ted left it and where we saw from Mike getting fired to losing to San Francisco and getting run over. I thought he did a great job. I thought he did a great job getting us in position to be the 1 seed 2 years in a row. Thought he did a pretty good job of handling the transition of Jordan Love. Last year was the first year that I was kind of like, this ain't great at the end of the year. Now, I look at it more as, why were we playing sloppy football in January? I don't necessarily believe that's Goody, but I could be wrong. So you're really saying, is it coaching or is it the players? And if you went through that list, and Jason, you went through a long list of players that need to be really good players. They're either going to be or they're not. And is it coaching or is it, if that many of the guys are not good players, then it's on Goody. If all that list that you just went through, all of those wideouts and the D linemen, in first-round picks, if none of them are contributing, that's on Goody.
You agree.
And if that happens...
you agree that we don't know about those guys.
I totally agree. Okay. Yes.
As is always the case, From the Carbless Talking text line, can I get an I agree with Wilde shirt? No, we don't make those. Those are not available. But I appreciate your support. Look, as is always the case, it's never one or the other. And that's what I hate about sports commentary. Is it the coaching or the general manager? Well, no blank blank. It's most likely both. Some of the players were bad picks, and you could have had the greatest coaching staff in NFL history, and they're still not going to be good enough. And in other cases, the guy's good enough, and the coaches didn't find the right buttons to push to develop them into good players. It's not cut and dried. But let's go back to the Marty Schottenheimer era when there were teams that he had that went 14-2 and then lost in the playoffs.
And somebody got fired.
And he got fired.
And somebody got fired. Yep.
So, do we want to be those? Do we want to be that organization? Do we want the Packers firing Goody or firing LaFleur if they're the 6th seed? Let's not even say they're the 7th seed. Let's say they're the 6th seed, but they still have to go on the road and they still get beat. Do we really want to clean house? To suggest that you can be critical and that means that you think they should be fired is just unfair. I can be critical without saying they deserve to lose their jobs. And I don't believe Goody at any level needs to be fired. But he needs to do more. So does the coach.
If Jordan Love plays similar to worse than he did last year, and they end up in the 8th spot, which is one spot out of the playoffs, you're telling me nobody needs to go? You're telling me everything's hunky. What are you telling me then?
I just said if they made the playoffs. If they don't make the playoffs, then that's a different discussion. Also, if Jordan Love is mid, we have a much bigger issue here then. Because you paid your quarterback.
What was he last year? What was he last year? Above mid?
Hurt.
Like, what are you putting him at?
Mid-ish. Like, I know the QBR had him in the top 5. The eye test would say he didn't play at that level. You can give him some grace because of the injury. So that's why, again, I don't want to discuss last year. I want to say that I want to see how he plays this year. But if he's mid this year, then you have a problem. Because you paid the cost of doing business to a guy that has not delivered at the level that you thought he was capable of because of the way he finished the 23 season. And if he's mid this year, you have to acknowledge that the aberration was the second half of 23. It was not the injury-induced midness of 24. That's why this year's such a big year. I personally think he's going to play better than he did last year and slightly worse than he did down the stretch of the 23 season.
So what if he doesn't? What if he doesn't? What if he's mid-ish again this year? What does Green Bay do? What do you do, Jason?
We get to the 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch so we can talk a little Bucs playoffs. And Tausch tells us about his love of UW Credit Union, where now he, like me, is a member.
I am a member, and for every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here for every you. Proudly serving Wisconsin for over 90 years. They're going to help you reach your financial goals. People ask me, why did you join UW Credit Union? Is it to keep your banking local? Yep. Is it the member-first service? Absolutely. Great perks like early payday. Definitely love that. But honestly, between us, Bucky, can't say no to that beauty. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes us do crazy things, but this just makes sense. It was great. The spring showcase, that was partnered up with UW Credit Union. UW Credit Union is out in your community. Become a UW Credit Union member. Get that Bucky card like I did. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions do apply.
The 11 o'clock hour starts in 2 minutes, so stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
With 18 unforgettable holes on 250 acres of natural private land, the Bog provides the ultimate golf experience. To book your next tee time, call 262-284-7075 or visit golfthebog.com. Enjoy golf. Enjoy the Bog.
A Blaine's Farm and Fleet original story.
Why is everyone coming on their riding mowers and UTVs?
I figured all the neighbors could use a break from yard work, so I invited them for
a ride-on lawnmower movie?
Or, as I like to say, a movie.
We've got the value you need to do things your way. Like all pairs of Skechers, buy one, get one half price. Select 4 packs of ratcheting tie-downs, $17.99. And new colors of men's work and sport polos, $15.99. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Being original.
Some road trips are about the journey, others are where they take you. And sometimes, the best destinations are just across the Wisconsin border. There you'll find Higher Love stands out with the largest selection of products at an unbeatable value, making every trip worth it. Less than an hour from Green Bay and just over 2 from Milwaukee, Higher Love in Menominee is closer than you think. Come see why they are voted best in Michigan. Also find them in Ironwood or any of their 9 UP locations. Start your trip at findhigherlove.com/CBD.
Looking for localized banking solutions and a strategic partner? Fifth Third Bank has been shaping the future for businesses for 167 years and for the last 15 right here in Milwaukee. We offer industry-specific expertise, local decision-making, and extensive experience to help you navigate the ever-changing business landscape with your business in mind. At Fifth Third, we're big enough to provide sophisticated solutions and expert guidance, yet empowered to make local decisions and build strong community connections. Experience the commercial banking value only Fifth Third can deliver. Fifth Third Bank National Association. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
If only life had a remote control, you could pause or rewind. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from KBN. Tune in to Kyle Brust and Nortman every day from 2 to 5. WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Wilde and Tausch begins now. We need to get to our guy, Justin Garcia, because it is Dame time tonight for Game 2 of the Bucks series with the Indiana Pacers. All right, Tausch, to put a bow on this so we can get to JG.
I think, Jesse, correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't have access to the YouTube comments for whatever reason. And I don't have Carbless talk and text line in front of me. It feels as if most Packer fans are Team Jason on this. Is that fair?
Yes. I think most Packers fans are Team Jason. Many are pointing out Jason's very appropriate critique of Goody while still saying he wants him as the GM. That's been the unanimous theme from the majority of what I shouldn't say unanimous, the majority theme from what I've seen in the fan feedback, which is interesting to me because I think a year, maybe 2 years ago, there were many more fans who would be on your side of this conversation, Tausch, where many were in support of Goody and how gutsy it was to move on from Aaron Rodgers, and it worked out, and everything he touches turns to gold. And that narrative has definitely changed, and you've remained rather steadfast compared to others in still your strong support of him.
Do you trust him? Do you trust Goody this weekend that this is going to be a better football team because of what he does this weekend? Do you trust him, Jesse?
Yes, I trust him, but I don't have blind faith. How about that?
Okay.
But yes, overall, I trust him to do the right thing for the team.
Okay.
It's kind of hedgy. Sorry.
Yeah, no, everything's hedgy. And part of it is, Jason's right. I mean, this is a nuanced conversation. And I know he doesn't like predicting and doesn't like doing – I get all of that. But there comes a point where you just look at it and say, has he built a roster that is good? Because the playoffs, we all know, stuff happens. You have good teams. I think general managers build their roster to try and win a championship. And the best way to do that is to have a great regular season and then be ready to roll when you get there and have young talent that develops and is better at the end, and then some veterans that know the game in critical spots that are going to get it done. And Jason said, well, he hadn't won a championship yet. That's the ultimate trump card. That's what you're judged on. And why that is the case, there's a lot of reasons, but you've had some really good opportunities that there were plenty of players that had played better than what they did, including our old MVP quarterback on that cold night against San Fran, that it didn't happen. And all you need is one. And you get your name up at the stadium, and you get a road named after you. And it hadn't happened for Matt LaFleur either. So it is complicated. I think Goody's last couple of drafts, there's a lot of question marks because they got put in a position where they had a reload happened. And it's been pretty doggone good. It ain't perfect. There ain't anybody perfect in that business. But it's been pretty good. And for people they shouldn't have blind trust. No, verify. And if you don't, and you have a bad season, then you have to start making decisions based on what you're seeing. It can't just be, well, I like him, but he got to. At some point, you have to it's got to happen. And if it doesn't, we're going to be looking at 16 seasons where there's not a championship going through title time.
As I kept listening to you guys debate this, the thing I kept coming back to real quick is the phrase "don't let good be the enemy of great." You've said that before, I think, Tausch. That's been one of your things. And right now, I think Goody and LaFleur has been really good, but it hasn't been great because they haven't gotten to a Super Bowl. And that's the thing that I keep coming back to as I wrestle with this. Like, Goody's been really good. Everything's been good. But 7 seed, winning one game in the play, like, that's all good. Like, that's sustainable, but it's not great. And if we think everyone on this roster is capable of being great, then what they've assembled is not good enough.
So, last thing so we can get to JG. Yesterday, Goody, one of the things that I really enjoyed, and I hope tomorrow we have some time to go through some of the stuff he talked about, because I thought he was really interesting on a number of things yesterday. Now, I thought his answer about RAS scores was interesting because he claimed that they don't use them. But then, if you listened to the full answer, he basically said they have their own version of RAS scores.
He said he'd never heard of it.
But we use analytics that measures all.
GAS.
Yes.
Goody's athletic scores.
Right.
So
that was part of it. I want to get to that. But he went through a part. He was asked about John Eric Sullivan, who interviewed for multiple GM jobs, didn't get them. He's back with the team. If they were to be the 6th seed and not win a playoff game, they lose to the 3 seed. And you know this because he went through it. He talked about Schneider and McKenzie and Dorsey and Scott McLuhan, all these guys, Elliott Wolf, all these guys that were there and now have been GMs or are currently GM-ish, right? Is it possible that as John Eric Sullivan, one of his best friends in the world, one of his right-hand men, along with Milt Hendrickson, the pride of Pecatonica Argyle, is it possible that both of them are sitting there and maybe sometimes Goody does things or doesn't do things that they would do, right? Being in the 2nd chair or the 3rd chair, if you're the offensive coordinator, maybe there's times when Steno's like, God, I would have called this there, and Matt called this, right? And it's not being a jerk about it. It's just you have your own ideas and your own opinions. You're a different person.
Yep.
I do wonder if somehow there were people in the building or Ed Policy taking over and having a preference if they would change their GM by just moving on from the current one and putting one of those lieutenants in charge instead. That's largely what happened with Ted, right? Goody was one of his right-hand men, and then Goody ultimately got the job. I'm not advocating.
Oh, no, then you got Russ Ball fired before you got him hired.
I would say Mike McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers did. I was just the vessel for that information. But yes, whatever. My point is that I don't think Goody has done a poor job. So don't put me in that category. He does not need to be fired. Don't put me in that category. My critique of him is there may be 1 or 2 moves, because every GM misses on picks. Everyone does, even the greats. Ron Wolf is in the Hall of Fame. He missed on plenty. Maybe there have been one or two moves that would have made the difference between being in a Super Bowl and not. I don't know that. There are certainly some coaching decisions that may or may not have been the difference between being in a Super Bowl or not. There are certainly some plays made by the quarterback that were the difference in being in a Super Bowl or not. And my only argument is we can't just say it's the coach and we can't just say it's the quarterback. We have to acknowledge that the general manager could have done something different too. They all could have done something different, so there wouldn't be this 15-year drought in between Super Bowl appearances. I think that's fairly reasonable.
All I would say that is a very reasonable and I think nuanced talk, and I agree with you with the exception of 2020. There is nothing that Brian Gutekunst could have done that would have cured what happened there, other than keeping David Bakhtiari out of practice and not blowing his knee out. That's it. That team was a championship team built by Brian Gutekunst, and sometimes luck just is a part of it too. There is nothing. He did everything you would have wanted him to do that season to put that team in position. They should have won. They didn't. And so goes the old fart in the wind conversation that Ron Wolf had. It does come back to there is luck that is involved in this too.
There's no luck involved in your drafty windows. Just be smart and make the switch and call Gina Della.
There's a lot of buzz about that big old draft up in Green Bay. You're not going to find any draft seeping through the windows from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. In fact, you should make Pella your number one pick, because right now you take advantage of no-interest financing options, or you can get free glass upgrades. Their talented designers and installers can match your home's unique decor through seamless customization. Certain restrictions do apply, and this deal does end on April 30th, so place your free in-home consultation today at pelletwi.com.
Justin Garcia has been waiting impatiently, I'm sure. Our Bucks buddy joins us next to talk Dame time and playoff time. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance. You remember the moments from that magical March.
Side Decker, it's a three. Got it!
On June 26th, celebrate the squad with Made 'em Believe, a special night with Bo Ryan, Frank Kaminsky, and Sam Decker.
Here's Kaminsky, the drop stab, that's his favorite. And the two.
Presented by Bud Light, Michelob Ultra, Potosi Varsity Ale, and Potosi Hard Seltzer. Tickets are on sale now at uwhoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
No shortcuts, no compromises, just the job done right. At Exterior Pros, we don't just meet expectations, we crush them. Every nail, every window, every shingle is a step toward your home's next chapter. From the moment we start until that final reveal, we're committed to making your home better than ever. Quality products and craftsmanship you can count on. Go to the pros for your next project. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274.
The UW Credit Union member Mark Tauscher here. People ask me, old T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, is it to keep your banking local? Is it the member first service? Great perks like early payday? Absolutely. But honestly, between us, I mean, it's Bucky. I can't say no to that face. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes us do crazy things, but this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member and get your Bucky card like me. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
There's a winning magic powering up at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. This April, prepare for an exciting quest to $300,000 in the Enchanted Spin Slot Tournament. Just conjure your rewards card and play slots to earn drawing entries. Each Thursday, 60 winners will compete for thousands in cash and prizes. Let your journey begin with Enchanted Spins, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Let's talk about home turf. Your lawn is a reflection of your pride, hard work, and even competitive spirit. If you want a yard that makes the neighbors stop and stare, you need the right plan. That's where Weedman Lawn Care comes in. Weedman's lawn care program is kid and pet friendly, uses golf course quality fertilizer, and has an effective weed treatment to dominate any issue. Get a free quote of Weedman's winning formula for your yard at weedman.com and get 50% off your first treatment. That's weedman.com. Weedman for the win.
Quarterback Jordan Love isn't just on the Packers. He's also on the American Family Insurance team. Because like us, he believes in dreaming fearlessly.
Just chase your dreams and don't let nobody hold you back.
And we help protect those dreams with the right coverage so you can
dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Draft season is all about big decisions.
Green Bay is now on the clock.
And your future is no different. Whether you're just getting started, balancing work and life, or coming back to finish your degree, Lakeland University gives you the flexibility to do it your way. Evening, online, and hybrid courses. Credit for work experience. Education that fits your life. Experience it your way. Learn more at lakeland.edu/draft.
Fisco is always there for your auto body care. When accidents happen, Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin is there when you need them. Got a broken mirror? They'll take care of it. Dented bumper? Scratch paint? Fisco Auto Body will take care of it. If there's any damage you need fixed, Fisco has you covered. Their expert workmanship is guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. So stop in for all of your auto bumps and dings. Once again, you know the line. That's Fisco.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Milwaukee Bucks, green and growing, better each year.
14 minutes late. We get to our Bucks buddy. And game 2 of the first-round playoff series between the Bucks and the Indiana Pacers. I wonder if he's got an intense rivalry with the Indiana announcers. It is Justin Garcia on Wilde and Tausch. JG, how you doing?
Doing good, guys. How about you?
I have that same on-air sign up above our little studio here. I don't have quite as cool of a hat on.
You're going to say hat? Like, wow.
No. Grateful Dead, I know you're a fan. Pearl Jam ahead of Grateful Dead or Grateful Dead ahead of Pearl Jam for you?
Oh, man. I think they're neck and neck.
Oh, what are you, me?
When I was a teenager and, early in the 90s, not to date myself, but just coming into my own as a youth, Pearl Jam was my band, and begging my parents to take me to see them at Summerfest, and I saw them a few other times. I saw them at the last show at the Bradley Center, so they're probably my number one group, but Grateful Dead is who I listen to the most.
Okay, that's an interesting way to divine that answer. Dame is back again. Dame is back. Tell us why this is so great, our friend.
Not bad.
Thanks.
We'll see. So here's the thing. It helps you immensely, I think, when you look at the usage in Game 1 and what the Pacers' strategy was we kind of wondered, how do you approach this? Do you say, we'll give Giannis anything he wants, we'll take away the shooters, and we're going to help on those guys? And what do you do here if you're Indiana? And they just made Giannis work and said, we're not going to give him those outlets. If he scores 40, he scores 40. Bucks aren't hitting threes. Damian Lillard helps you change that gravity and gives you more trusted shooters, especially in those minutes where you have other guys that are going through shooting struggles. We know the Pacers are going to sag off and dare guys like Kyle Kuzma to take shots. You're not going to do that to Damian Lillard. So in that sense, it helps quite a bit. But I would just caution, too, it has been 35 days since we've seen Damian Lillard play in a basketball game. It is one thing to be in shape. It's another thing to be in game shape, and especially game shape that goes up a level in the playoffs. I mean, it's remarkable in itself that a guy is back after 35 days from blood clots. So I do think we need to temper the expectations that this isn't just a Dame is here to save us and he's going to score 40.
So how much do you think? How much limited? What is he going to be limited wise? Is it going to be?
I was just trying to figure out his prize
minutes? Picks. No, I'm not doing my prize. I can't put JG in that
I said
spot.
21 and a half minutes.
About a point a minute.
I mean, how much are you expecting him to play tonight with the conditions you just laid out? Or I know he's been practicing a little bit, but serious injury, 35 days. It's not going to be a full freight tonight for him, even though it's obviously a critical game in this series.
I wouldn't assume. I mean, I always kind of felt once we started to learn more and more, and last week when we got the news, he's cleared and he's going to return at some point in this series. I always assumed it would be game 2 because of the breaks that you had in that series where you get 2 days off between 1 and 2. You get another 2 days off between today and game 3. I would, just to play it safe, I would assume he's around 25 or so minutes. I'm not sure if you start him. I haven't heard anything from guys that were at practice earlier today and what it looked like there. So I'm still curious to see, do you kind of manage his minutes in that sense and bring him off the bench to pick those lineups you have him on the floor with? Because I think the big takeaway from game 1 is at some point you do have to heavily consider some type of change to the starting lineup. And I think even beyond Damian Lillard, because that may complicate things even more with your defensive matchups. I'm not trying to say you're better off not having Dame, but I think once you reinsert him into the starting lineup, I do think you have to reevaluate the guys playing next to him because of who's taking on who. And you're playing Kyle Kuzma and Taurean Prince out of position. So I do wonder if you kind of wait to pull all this out at once and you bring him off the bench and then you unveil a new lineup in game 3, or if you just rip the Band-Aid off now and say, we're going to watch your minutes, you're starting, and we'll try to keep it around this number.
So what do you think, JG? What would you do if you were in charge?
Coach
what do you
JG.
expect? Yeah, what are you thinking? You obviously have something on your mind. What are you thinking?
Well, knowing Dame and knowing that most times when I've tried to make some type of prediction with this team this season, I've been wrong. I'll say that he does, in fact, start this game. And I think, and it's not just Doc Rivers, and that's kind of been the tiring discourse around this team is like, well, Doc Rivers doesn't play young guys or doesn't make adjustments. And the whole tiresome argument over starters. I mean, I will acknowledge the starting lineup struggled quite a bit in game 1. And by the numbers, they've not been your best 5-man groupie, but it is more important who closes games and who is playing more minutes. And I think you can't make an argument against Doc Rivers. He has played his best players more minutes. I think you can maybe say, do you need to look into more minutes for some of those guys? Sure. But that's the big thing for me. And knowing that, and again, not just Doc, most other coaches, you're not going to full on panic after one game and say, we got to change everything here. So I would assume they keep it as is for now, and it's just Damian Lillard starting in place of Ryan Rollins for game number 2. But, you know, we'll see if that solves the spacing for Giannis and gives him another shooter that's out there and limits some of the things Indiana's able to do, or if we see more of the same, and then you have to really consider, do we need more changes than this?
It's a tough break for Ryan Rollins, Tausch's favorite buck.
Well, you gave him a nickname that I didn't recognize. Kuz, not great. Not great, Bob, on Saturday. Well, and you heard Doc saying, well, I got to get him more involved. Where are we at with Kuzma as far as, you know, he obviously needs to be better than what we saw.
Yeah, I think that's where we're at now. He's got to be better than that. And
dynamite drop, Monty.
I do think there's a lot to what Doc said, too, that there are moments where you can look at what Indiana was doing. I mean, Giannis drew 10 fouls in the first half, I think it was, and you could see midway through the first quarter, he was attacking and he was getting to the line, but he was gassed. And that was part of Indiana's strategy is we don't trust the other guys, make Giannis take that on. And not only does that help us defensively, it hurts the Bucks defensively because it takes away from Giannis's defensive ability. So I think you got to look for more minutes to get Kyle Kuzma going off of curl screens, get him attacking and going down the floor. You know, Indiana's going to give him any shot that he wants in terms of a jump shot. So you got to look for other ways to get the ball in his hands and get Kyle Kuzma attacking, not only to get him going, but to get Giannis a bit of a rest offensively.
Talking with Justin Garcia, our Bucks buddy, ahead of Game 2 tonight in the Bucks series with the Indiana Pacers. If Damian Lillard is Damian Lillard, are the Bucks a better team than the Pacers?
Well, I picked the Bucks to win the series, and I still think the Bucks are going to win this series. They're very close, and that was coming into this series why I think I was on an island saying, I think regardless of what happened in the regular season, I think I'd rather have the Knicks than the Pacers. We've kind of quietly ignored how good the Indiana Pacers have been since losing to the Bucks, where they blew a 17-point lead on New Year's Eve. They have been one of the best teams in basketball since January 1st, and their offense is not to the levels it was a season ago. Their defense is much improved. So I think the Pacers are a deeper team with more trusted postseason players on their roster than the Bucks. But I think Giannis makes up for a whole lot in the series. And to your point, if Damian Lillard is there, I would give the Bucks a slight edge over the Pacers in terms of who is the better team. But I think these two teams are close when healthy.
All right, Justin, the times that we do talk Bucks, we seem to devolve into the concerns about the future, especially if they lose this series. All I want to know, because we're not going to be able to predict the future right now today on April 22nd, but as someone who has been around this team for a very long time, who is an expert on this team, are you worried at any level? DEFCON 1, DEFCON 5, where I always get those mixed up. I think DEFCON 1 is the worst. About the future of the organization and the future with or without the Greek Freak if they lose this series. Because I think there are fans of our show and perhaps a host of our show that at least have some level of concern that if this goes poorly, we could be witnessing the end of an era. Do you have those concerns or not really?
I mean, it's not anything that keeps me up at night. I'm not oblivious to it.
What does keep you up at night?
It's any player.
Garbage. Not
Honestly,
just garbage picked up. Well, if the garbage doesn't come, that probably keeps you up.
Good one.
Not so much that, just if there's garbage around the house and having to deal with that. Yeah. No, I mean, I don't. This isn't a cop-out answer, but I don't choose to go through life waiting for the worst-case scenario and assuming that's the case. I mean, to your point, that discourse has been out there, but I would also say we don't have to engage with it. You don't have to deal with the conjecture and the tiresome.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Does this mean Giannis is going to leave? I mean,
clickbaity.
And look, I get it. It's not from afar. If you lose in the first round 3 straight years, we know this is a player movement league. That's the natural assumption to make. But for whatever reason, that's been the assumption made with Giannis more than any other player out there. If Nikola Jokic and the Nuggets lose in the first round after having just fired their coach a month ago and have serious health concerns about Jamal Murray going forward, wondering about some of the secondary guys, and are these guys good enough? Are they to the level they looked 2 years ago? Similar to things the Bucks dealt with. Are we discussing Nikola Jokic asking for a trade to leave the Denver Nuggets? I haven't heard any of that. So I don't know why it sticks to Giannis. I mean, I get losing in the first round 3 years in a row versus losing in the first round once is a different argument. But there's other things that have happened with other teams that would be my piece of advice is, yes, it could happen. Most anything could happen. But I don't choose to spend my time wondering and worrying. Yeah, Luka, who saw that coming? But it's no way to go
to the Bucks.
Is this the last game I'm going to see Giannis playing a Bucks uniform? Like, who wants to live like that?
Homer.
Nobody. Jason does, though. He keeps asking about it.
Stop.
All right. Well, you did. Tonight a must-win?
No. Okay. Your must-win is when you face elimination.
Yeah.
Oh, stop that.
If the Lakers lose to the Timberwolves tonight, it's over. It is.
It's not over. It is not over. The Lakers still have the best player in that series. It's not over there. And
who is it? Doncic.
The other thing is, look,
Did you let him speak?
It's certainly not ideal to fall down 2-0, but you come back home. It's a much different story to lose your first 2 games on the home floor and then go on the road. So it's not great. It's a big hole to dig out of, but it's not a must-win tonight.
Okay. All
JG,
right.
sorry we got to you late. Thanks for always making us smarter when you come on the show. We appreciate you, buddy. Have a good one.
See you guys.
That is Justin Garcia. You can hear him on the Bucks Radio Network. What now?
Minutes for Dame. What was it, 19.5 points?
Yeah, 19.5 on Prize Picks. Yeah.
That seems like a lot. I think Halliburton will bounce back and have a bigger game. All right, I got a little smarter. I feel like a little smarter from that. Although Jason trying to go all clickbait here, Giannis's last series is a buck. You can see JG shot that down quicker than you could say, well, you know what, Jay-Bird.
Yeah, I'm the one on the panel who brings that up. It's Dame time. It's Dame time tonight.
I didn't bring it up.
Not
you
today.
Did.
Not today. You did not bring it up.
Okay.
It is Dame time tonight, and it's also Dame time on Season 4 of Behind the Bucks, the podcast that is presented by Gallagher. Explore Bucks superstar Damian Lillard's unlikely journey from a 2-star high school prospect to a top 75 player in NBA history. The series, which is narrated by senior NBA insider Chris Haynes, reveals exclusive details of Dame's trade to the Bucks and his experience with the team. Find Behind the Bucks on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and wherever you get your podcast. Behind the Bucks, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. We have more clock to chase. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Hey, Gina, did you hear about the draft?
Wayne, there's no draft at Pella.
There's definitely a draft. Right, Wilde?
Yeah, everybody's talking about it.
Pella windows are constructed of the highest quality. No drafts. But Pella should be everyone's #1 pick because right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get no interest financing options or free glass upgrades.
So where is the draft?
Coon. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply in 4/30/2025.
Mark Tauscher here, and these days I am sleeping better than ever. I am so thankful I met with the great team at Advent to help solve my sleeping problems. The Advent team is so great to work with, and their consultations are very informative. The Advent team listened to my struggles, and rather than forcing a surgery, they helped me find the best solution for a better night's sleep. My family and I are so thankful the solutions from Advent worked. To see how they can help you with snoring, sleep apnea, and nasal breathing problems, go to adventknows.com, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Finding money in your house can be a lot easier than you think. Great Midwest Bank, there's no more couch diving for loose change. Jen Gabe and Chewy's Jen Latta here. GMB has a simple approach to turning your home's value into cash. All it takes is a locally serviced home equity loan or line of credit. They take the time getting to know each customer, making for an easy way to pay for whatever it is you want or need. New appliances, a big repair, a boat, or a pool. It's just a few clicks away with GMB. Great Midwest Bank. Experience your state of tranquility.
With 18 unforgettable holes on 250 acres of natural private land, the Bog provides the ultimate golf experience. To book your next tee time, call 262-284-7075 or visit golfthebog.com. Enjoy golf. Enjoy the Bog.
Looking for a totally rad flavor adventure, brochachos? Look no further than Surfer Boy Pizza as seen in Stranger Things. Each mouth-watering variety contains rich tomato sauce, delicious mozzarella cheese, and a gnarly range of toppings. The crust is crispy on the outside and airy on the inside. You'll think it was hand-tossed by the Surfer Boy Pizza dudes themselves. Look for it in the freezer aisle at your local store and buckle up your taste buds with Surfer Boy Pizza.
Introducing minus 196. That's minus 196 vodka seltzer. Crafted with real spirits, premium vodka, and just 3 grams of sugar per 12 ounces. What makes it different? Our freeze crush infusion process. We take real, whole fruit, freeze it to negative 196 degrees Celsius, crush it into powder, and infuse it straight into the vodka. That's flavor you can feel. Lemon, strawberry, grapefruit, peach. Minus 196 brings the real fruit punch. Minus 196. Please drink responsibly.
Dr. Aaron Holtebeck and his team at Holtebeck Eye Center make vision care a top priority. They are your premium provider for eye care and corrective eye surgeries. Dr. Holtebeck has been helping local patients with their eye care needs for over 20 years. Dr. Nausheen Abbas joined the Holtebeck Eye Center team last September, and her practice philosophy is to provide patient-centered medicine by giving all options. Located in Brookfield near the corner of Calhoun and Capitol. Learn more about their services at holtebeck.com.
After a crash with a semi-truck, everything can change instantly. At Gruber Law Offices, we have the knowledge and experience to make sure you're protected. And we're here to help whenever you need us. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Wisconsin is still cattle country. And that's why Bunzel's chose to stay close to home to hand select the finest beef. Quality goes into everything they do, from Bunzel's expansive array of meats, homemade specialty sausages, and their award-winning beef jerky. It just isn't a proper holiday meal without Bunzel's top quality cuts on the dinner table. Tasting is believing. Visit Bunzel's at 90th and Burleigh or bunzels.com.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
I'm not even sure we have enough time for Whoa Nelly. But if we do, here it is.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
On Wilde and Tausch.
Beck and I finished a show, 8-episode miniseries last night on Netflix called The Residents. It's a murder mystery show, and it's one of those...
Hotel movie?
No, it's one of those, like, fun murder mysteries. Like, there's some language in it, so it's not entirely suitable for, like, all ages, but it's really good. Very well done. You have to pay attention to everything. I will assert the murder mystery that's, like, the fun murder mystery like that.
Like Clue?
Yeah, kind of. It's very Clue-like, yes. It takes place at the White House, and so like all the different rooms they call it, the blue room, the red room, the yellow room, and it's like what's the murder? It's very Clue-like. I think the quirky, fun murder mystery is the greatest genre of any TV shows or movies.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
You got a prisoner of the moment.
No,
you know.
I love them. I love that one. I love Murder on the Orient Express.
Blacklist.
Only murders in the building.
Blacklist is good, but that's also like it keeps you guessing all along. It's a little different. That's my favorite show of all time, but I think the best genre is the fun murder mystery. Tell me I'm wrong.
I think you like I think comedy is the best, and I think that's what you think too.
No, I'd actually put comedy pretty low.
Okay.
I like dramas more than comedies, but I love the
drama.
whodunit, trying to figure it out, like sitting there. Becca hates it when I'm like guessing when I pause the show. I'm like, I think it's the butler now. I think this is how he did it. She's like, just play the show.
The problem with that is, listen, man, I'm not going to tell you what you should like and what you shouldn't.
You just told him what he does like and what he doesn't.
I know. And then I backed off because I think Jesse believes that in his heart of hearts. But you get no character development in those shows. None. It's a one and done, and then it's over. Which is fine, but
much more character development in comedy.
No, there's more character development in dramas. Which is, I like a good drama. I like a good comedy. These are kitschy. I love murder mystery parties. We used to do murder mystery parties a couple times a year. They're fun.
We're doing one for the Hall of Fame induction
we're still working on putting ours
for
together.
Wilde and Tausch.
But that doesn't mean that's my favorite genre. It just doesn't. So, no, I'm going to disagree vehemently with you.
On what you like.
He didn't tell me what to like. He told me what he knows I like.
Yeah. Oh, I'm aware.
That was a unique twist on not telling me how to think.
That was a new one for Whoa Nelly. I can tell you this. I like David Gruber, and I like that they support our show at Gruber Law Offices. And I hope that you never actually have to call him and his team and make that one call, that's all. Because that means you haven't been injured in an accident. But if you have been injured, you need the best team in the business on your side to make sure you get what you deserve. So make the call. One call, that's all. 414-276-6666. 414-276-6666. Gruber Law Offices, one call. That's all. Go to the website, gruber-law.com, to find out more. We'll wrap up today's show. We're not playing end of show trivia.
Aww.
We're not doing it. We're going to do double Wisconsin geography trivia tomorrow.
Triple tomorrow, probably. Draft coming up. Oh, boy. Okay, Captain.
We'll wrap things up next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance. The best source for every piece of NFL news you need to know.
I think that's right in the range that Emeka Egbuka would be there. I think it's possible that Ted McMillan could be there.
ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter is on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy every Wednesday morning at 7:30. Sponsored by Island Resort and Casino.
We're speculating. It shouldn't be that hard. Like, either you want to play for the Steelers or you don't, right? Like, what are we waiting for?
On 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Michelle Smallman.
I think if you're looking at the Lakers and you're thinking about them long term, this season is a success.
Bingo.
If you're looking at the Lakers and we're focusing on just this season, when LeBron James is 40 years old and they get bounced in the first round, I think it's a failure. Failure at worst, disappointment at best. Because I'm with you. When they first made the Luka trade, I thought no matter what else happens this season, it's a win. It's a win for them. We are going to put more expectations on them next season based on the runway that Luka gives this organization. And we didn't really expect them to be a true title contender heading into the season. If the Lakers get bounced in the first round, I would consider it to be a failure. If you're looking at the Lakers holistically, organizationally, it's a win. If you're looking at the Lakers as far as their window to win with LeBron, disappointment/failure.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
The sports calendar is heating up, and with ESPN Bet Sportsbook, you can go from checking news to stats to placing bets in a couple of taps. Stream games, bet live, and get exclusive offers when you link your ESPN account. Right now, you can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Great impressions will exceed your expectations. Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
At Great Impressions Graphics and Printing, they've been proudly serving the community for over 26 years. From their location at the corner of 54th and Burleigh in Milwaukee, their dedication to quality and customer satisfaction has made them a trusted name in printing and design. Great Impressions offer a wide range of services, including banners, posters, yard signs, business cards, programs, and postcards. Plus, they specialize in custom apparel printing, perfect for family reunions, sports outings, business promotions, and more. For your next project, visit greatimpress.com. That's greatimpress.com. Great Impressions. They're here when you need them.
Great impressions, perceptions,
Want to make your next meal a little less ordinary? Well, head to Quick Trip. Hey, we are so back serving up our legendary No Ordinary Chicken. Yeah, your dinner is hand-breaded, fried to perfection, ready to eat for tonight's dinner. Or you can buy it cold, sealed fresh for tomorrow's lunch. You know, we love to make life easier for you. This isn't just any chicken. It's Quick Trip's No Ordinary Chicken. Stop in your local Quick Trip today and taste the difference.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Cause I'm a hazard to myself. Don't let me get beat. I'm my own worst enemy. It's bad when you know yourself. So irritating.
Our guy Alex Strofe is live from the Tundra Trio, coming up next, and will be so all week long. I was up on the 5th floor at Lambeau, which I think the last time I was way up there was when you and Ryan Longwell posed for pictures for your Hall of Fame induction, and we did a little press conference. But you got a great view from above, almost like being on like a drone, being able to see how amazing the setup is going to be at our Tundra Trio for all the ESPN radio programming and for our programs on Thursday and Friday as well. Strofe is there now. He's coming up next. That's why I didn't want to get into trivia and not start his show until 12:10. So that's it for us today.
I mean, it is called Mr. Irrelevant. If we wanted to play a little trivia, we could.
I wonder if he'll discuss whether Brian Gutekunst should be fired or not on his program. That's it for us today. We will do it again tomorrow. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Missing.
Why is life better with American Family Insurance? Because every policy comes with something very special. A trusted agent who's there to help protect your dreams by finding the right coverage at the right price. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
It's time for the Milwaukee Basketball Report